Hey, everybody.
Good
Hey,
evening.
How's it going?
Ooh,
I was
it's
doing my
going.
grocery shopping order online.
Oh, girl, I love that online grocery shopping. That's the best way to do it.
I did one, I still have to do the rest of I have to do like two orders, so
Never did it. I always just go to the store here, but it's a
Yeah.
bit easier living in the city in the Netherlands, I guess. Oh, mm.
I live in San Antonio and the traffic is insane. So if you want to spend 2 hours going to and from for the groceries, go for it, but I don't.
Thanks.
that makes sense. Here, basically every neighborhood has their own store, so it's really easy. Most have multiple stores even.
That sounds wonderful.
I do it. I get it queued up and I go pick it up because I'm 20 minutes any direction from a grocery store. So
Yep.
it's a hike. And not 20 city minutes, 20 country mile minutes.
I get my
I don't.
government assistance the first week of the month, so I always stock up that week.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Are you in Maryland, Nick?
Yep.
Okay. I used to live in Anne Arundel County.
Oh, totally not my part of Maryland.
Yeah. I
I'm
like to go over to Western Maryland though. It's really pretty over there. There's some good
that's
beer.
that's more where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I'm like 30 minutes from West Virginia.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, I buy in bulk. I buy like 20 pounds of beef at once. There's this like it's like Costco, but it's called BJ's.
Oh yeah.
Buy everything in just massive quantities. I'm good for 2 weeks. We got people rolling on in here. Once it starts to trickle down, we'll go ahead with the Zoom checks. How is everybody? What's going on? What's new?
I'm doing a race on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
It's a short one. It's a 5K. They're having it's the Fourth of July event, so I get like a free hot dog. So
Well, there you go.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
going.
eat that kind of protein very often, but I figure it's once in a while, so it's all right.
Yes.
The footage from Santa Monica looked really cool.
I'm telling you, it's a really cool show um to attend. It's great for live audience. It's a great athlete experience. Um, I know they were having some live stream issues. I knew we were in trouble when I saw Marc up on a roof. Um,
Yeah,
but
I saw
he
something
was
about that.
he was doing everything he could but he really put pressure on the production team to get as much shot and recorded as possible to kind of make up for the Wi-Fi and the live stream issues they were having. But that wasn't my lane, so I just had to control the floor um, with the judging and the pace of the show. And there's ad breaks on the live stream and all that stuff. So, um, which is kind of annoying because you kind of get in a rhythm, and then you get a signal, and then I'll have to hold up. The athlete manager will hold them up, and we kind of just that's my cue to go eat or something real quick. And but it's fun. The Santa Monica Classic's just a really really fun show. Um, Different field this year, very competitive heavyweight. Uh, And then the sub 90 division, there was only 190 in the field. The rest was all 80 kilo guys, which is fine. Me and Derek, who went, all the guys that were top three last year, none of us were competing. Derek does photography as well. So he was actually doing all the headshots and stuff for the athletes. I was judging. So it's kind of funny. You had your top two guys working at the event this year. But that's kind of, it's common in strongman. We kind of are involved in other facets just because we love the sport and we want to grow. I mean, we help it grow as athletes, but we take that experience and things we've learned from competing, and we apply to try and enhance the experience moving forward for other guys when we're not competing. So it's a group effort for sure. But if anyone is within, driving distance of Cali, I definitely recommend attending. There's a whole festival, and with the World Cup this year, there's this giant Michelob Ultra like thing, like giant TV screen. There's other vendors. It's a whole thing. It's not just the strongman. It's a whole like Santa Monica Pier event. So it's a pretty cool weekend.
Cool.
Looks like we've got about 30, so we can probably get this show on the road.
Let me chime in really fast, Nick.
Sure.
So everyone, you saw my Nick's request for 2 videos. We just want to use his time as efficiently as possible, but also the other thing I want you guys to start doing, if you can, is to always put your name and the exercise in your file name when you upload it, because we want to be able to timestamp these. For that, none of us are going to watch 3 hours. We need AI to do it. And for that, we need Nick to be able to say, I'm now looking at Peggy's deadlift. So if you could do that going forward, that would help all of us a lot. And now I'm going to go ruck and listen to you
And
guys.
if it's a new movement for you and you're just completely jacked up, and I think I'm watching a deadlift and I'm killing it completely wrong because you're doing a deadlift and you were trying to do God knows what, then it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, then you're totally lost. Like
Yeah.
Nick was watching my original clean and press yesterday. You guys will have fun when we share that in the app.
I know.
Maybe we can ask AI what exercise we're doing as well.
If AI can't tell you, you're really doing something wrong. And I promise you, AI was not gonna name Ketchell's clean and press. There was
I
no.
think it involved a monkey.
That was the
Yes,
monkey
yes,
one.
that
was the
that
monkey
is
one.
where the monkey fucking a football came into play.
Yep. That was that one. It's very funny when you watch it, and we'll share this so people can see how much you
He
can
might
improve if you
poop, he
just
might
keep.
press. You don't know.
Oh my
When you
God.
compare it to yesterday's log press, it's a big change in about 10 months.
That's why we can laugh about it now. I mean, I was laughing about it anyway, but it makes sense to be laughing about it now.
We have to be able to laugh at ourselves, right?
Well, yeah, otherwise you won't better.
Yes.
Exactly.
Progress always looks different.
All
That's
right.
true.
I'll let Nick take charge. I don't want to derail you guys. I just
Thanks,
wanted
Catch.
you to do those things, but I'll be here.
Happy rucking.
All right. Well, I gotta get that window open. I thought I had it open. There we go. All right. So with that being said, some people uploaded way more than 2 this week. And if you're in the chat and we get here, if there are 2 specifically that are higher priority, like your worst lifts or whatever, please stop me and let me know which 2 are the one you want me to hit. Otherwise, Um, I'll just do the first come, first serve with the first two and then skip the rest. Just because, even with less people, we're getting sometimes more videos. So I've got with this format, I want to get to as many of you as possible and spread the love equally. Um, Sometimes it's hard to do, and look, if most of the time it is a big compound lift that needs the attention. If it's a new assistance move, this, that, and the other, um, odds are you know how to do a kettlebell swing mostly. But let's attack the big important ones, the ones where safety and security are very much an important factor to the lift. I try to tell people like this. When it comes to your form checks, trying to decide what to submit, if it's something you've never done before, if you have pain, or if we've been working on it and I've requested it and we've been progressing it, things like that. So those would be the first three in order criteria when trying to decide which one. Or if, the only other thing would be something that you're just overall unsure of. And I say that with a grain of salt because let's be honest, every strict curl, every preacher curl someone's ever submitted, they've all been fine. They're pretty much a preacher curl's pretty idiot proof, if we're being brutally honest here. So kind of as you do this, you'll kind of learn what movement patterns kind of need that unless I request a video from you. So those things like the preacher curls, things like that, I wouldn't, if you really need help on them, sure, but I wouldn't waste one of the two on something that's very, very straightforward. You can maybe use YouTube for things of that nature. So I'll leave it at that, and then people keep rolling in. That's great. We will get rolling. So when I was going through these earlier, this is good. Okay. One of the other videos you submitted, Rebecca, it looked like you were elevating. We had a little bit of a communication about it, and I had a typo. But that's neither here nor there for the rest of you.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is good. You're deadlifting flat, you're squatting heels elevated. That's what we want.
Okay.
So this position, this isn't affected by your ankle mobility.
Okay.
This is a matter of setting this up in position.
Okay.
We aren't getting the cue. If you look, you're bent over at the bar, and when you pull, keep an eye on this part of your body. You never set your hips and brace into, you pull right back through into your lumbar.
Okay.
So what I mean by that neutral spine, when we brace here, it supports this back. So our brace is helping support the back with the collapse. So there's less collapse. From here up is thoracic flexion. But you notice how I can do that and this stays flat down here?
Uh-huh.
This is the important part we want to keep neutral. So when we brace and we pull down, you can start here, that's fine. When we pull down into that neutral spine, that's what I want to see you doing. Those cat-cow movements on your hands and knees, a lot of people mess up when it comes to applying them to deadlift cueing is they force the curling through their mid-back and they don't really get their hips turning. I want to get your hips turning. So you don't necessarily need to be on your hands and knees for the cat-cow. You can literally, and you're going to look ridiculous, so just accept it. You can literally do it here.
Okay.
Cow. And it's simply turning my hips down, tailbone to the sky. So when we drive that tailbone up to the sky, I'm simultaneously driving my belly button to the floor. So then I bear down into my rib cage, my air, my brace, my core. I contract into that position. And when you turn these hips out and turn that tailbone to the sky, I'm willing to bet my next paycheck, you're going to feel tension right here at the bottom of the glute and hamstring. And this is what I
Okay.
call sitting into your glutes, pushing back into your glutes. So your shoulders over the bar, you're doing a lot right, but by getting your butt down a little bit more and getting you sitting into your glutes, you're going to get, you notice how there's no real push off the floor with the legs? You don't really get a
Right.
drive, kind of just immediately go hinge. So you're using heavy back, heavy glute, heavy hamstring. We're not getting the quad drive, that immediate drive off the floor that is going to put way more power on the table for you. You're leaving a very big driver off the initiator of the deadlift. So what if you could possibly give me a higher angle from the side, like put the phone in a shoe, like in the heel, and just put it on like a bench. If you shove it down in there like this, imagine this is
Okay.
you, and you just shove it
Right.
down, and then I've used that as a tripod. I don't know how many times.
Okay.
And give me a higher angle so I can see knee, shin, how you're holding it, so I can look kind of down into your deadlift over the plate. Um,
Okay.
that would help, but I can tell just by your hips and the way you're pulling, we're not using our quads, and we
Okay.
really want to use our quads. So we need to get you into position basically. And I know we discussed you had that ankle issue. This
Right.
isn't going to require a lot of ankle flexion. This is
Okay.
going to be almost 90, a little bit of flexion. Um, it's going to be no more flexion than almost walking. Um,
Awesome.
so I'm not worried I don't want you to think that that's potentially correlating to this. I just think it's a position, body awareness, and space, and you haven't gotten the cue to click.
Okay.
So we're gonna work this out. So your next, I did see a video in here where you had your heels elevated on a deadlift. I'm just gonna skip that because we don't
Yeah,
want.
just skip all that. That was
Um,
after or before we talked.
yes. So we've got some ironing out to do here and figuring out what cue gets you to stick. Um, I want to see you do those hands on your knees, cat cow. I want you to get used to tilting up into a neutral spine, that tailbone to the sky. And then when you get there, I want you to brace. 1,000, 1,000, release. Down. Tilt up, brace down. And repeating that. And you can do that 2 or 3 times before you walk up to the bar just to really ingrain that. Um, but I want a video of you doing that in your deadlifts next week.
Okay. I can do that for you.
So then I can further assess, okay, she has the coordination, the mind body connection to be able to do that. We just got to get her to do it at the right time.
Right.
Or okay, she can't get her body to do it. Let's figure out some options to trick her body into moving that way.
Cool.
Your fronties. Let's see here. So, are you feeling this in your ankle?
I feel the stop in it, yeah. And I keep trying to push it, but it really it just doesn't go anywhere on
So,
that.
this is where an adaptation, I think, is acceptable and borderline necessary because you have a physical restriction, not a mobility restriction, a physical restriction with bone, cartilage, tissue damage that is
Right.
accumulated to create scar tissue. They make blocks at varying elevation. Odds are if you got on a hack squat machine that had good a good plane, you could probably get your ass to your calves. What we need to do is, so ankle flexion is when you'd be squatting and your knees are pushing forward and we're creating that steep angle between the top of the foot and the knee.
Okay.
So we want to reduce flexion. So what we need to do is we need to get you in a plane where your heels get steep, almost in a hack squat position. And that is okay because we were adapting due to a restriction.
Okay. Would that be like one of those slant boards that kind of look like a wedge?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
And they make hard foam ones, rubber ones, whatever option. They make ones that are adjustable. They make ones that come in packs with varying degrees. They make them instead of one board, they make two, one for each foot, so you can adjust your width. There's dozens of options. If you get on the internet and you type in, there's like I think it's ATG Blocks, Ask the Grass. That's a company I've seen a lot of physical therapy places that make those blocks. This is a very valid option. I think something adjustable or starting more on the deeper side, so we can get you down there and get you used to a full range of motion and seeing where that foot heel angle, where that sweet spot is for you.
Okay, I'll get some this weekend or this week, I guess. We're still on Wednesday. So yeah,
Yes.
I can order some today.
And you can practice them at home with body weight. You don't need to go to a gym. You can get some, figure out which one works. And I'm assuming with body weight squats, you still have the same issue.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So start with body weight and figure out what that angle is. I mean, obviously, I think the big wooden fancy ones are probably on the higher end, but the
Okay.
foam or rubber ones, probably the hard foam, not squishy, are probably what are going to be affordable and the most adjustable for you when it comes to, you might just have to get a couple different angles and see what happens there. And this is an adaptation. That's fine.
Okay. And then I was wondering, would so I use the TRX suspension trainer for my inverted rows. Would that help if I use that for my body weight squats?
Yeah, if you want something to hold on to, sure.
Okay.
Are you talking like to add resistance?
A little bit. So I was reading,
I don't want you doing body weight for a workout. I want you doing it to
Oh no,
play
that's
with the
part of my
plane.
warm up for
Yeah, that's fine.
intermediate. So I had seen something about that the TRX would help with like your range of motion and getting your body more comfortable going down that low. And I wasn't sure how true that was or if that's recommended.
So there's someone was saying there's an issue with going deep.
No, no, to get your body more comfortable with going deeper.
I mean, it's not necessarily your body, it's a specific ankle issue. So it's
Right.
not a matter of if that is truly restricting you, if that is truly what's preventing your
Hmm.
depth, it's not a full body issue. It's we have this impingement,
Right.
this mechanical impingement that we have to modify our foot plane to work through that impingement to open up the range of motion because we have to reduce ankle flexion.
Right.
So we're going to do this in a format using high steep elevation to create a toe down feeling to create so if this is your foot and this is your shin, this is
Right.
what happens when you normally squat. We have to eliminate this. So if
Right.
we get that foot angle here, now you're squatting, your flexion is going to be only like here.
Right.
And that's going to open up that range of motion, ideally to allow you to get your knees out of the way for your hips.
Okay. So using the slant board is more important than using the TRX.
Yes.
Okay. Got you. Thank you
Okay.
so much. I really appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. We'll figure it out one way or another. Okay, so she was having this issue that was specific to um a piece of equipment she does with her RV. Um and creating basically being able to service this is something she has to do on a daily thing. So I told her submit a video, let me see what exactly the process is. And she struggles with this. So we're gonna try and figure out a way I mean, she's laying on her stomach and it looks like, yeah, she's got to pull down.
I'm here.
Okay. So it's just super stiff.
Right. And it loosened up the second and third time that I flushed the tank, but the first time it was very difficult and it's frequently very difficult. So I've ordered some products that may or may not help. a dry lube for the shaft and
Yep.
an internal lubricant for the seals. And the next time I will see if that helps any. But I'm just wondering if there's any other way I can position myself with things being the way they are there. I don't think there is, but I thought I'd show you.
No, I mean, it outside of me getting under it and kind of, problem solving myself on what angles to generate more torque. I mean, that the way you're plunging it down is like a heavy hybrid lat pull down and tricep extension. So back strength and tricep strength is going to be very conducive for you here.
Okay.
The only other thing, and I don't know, is if you laid on your back and were able to put your feet and drive with your legs to kind of push that out.
There's not much room there.
Yeah. So outside
I mean,
of
I
that,
tried laying down, but it's just there's no room really. And there's and I gave you another video that showed you there's like a hydraulic thing in the way that complicates matters even further. So
let's see.
yeah, that thing right there. So I have to like reach under that, and it's right in my face when when I'm pulling, unless I get my head under it entirely.
Yeah, I mean, I have a similar system on my camper. It's mine's at more of a courteous angle.
Yeah, the RV tech that was here was trying to remove it and replace it with a side pull, but the screws are either too rusted or stripped or something. And he said, I'm going to have to take it somewhere and actually have it cut off to do that.
I mean,
which
that's your
sounds
next
more
best
expensive.
option. It probably is because it's going to take some fabrication, but I would say long term, that will probably be your most relieving option, outside of really focusing on some tricep extensions, and getting a really beefy tricep to really generate. It's just an angle where it's hard to, you're extended, you're laying down, you're on your belly. It's not ideal for generating power in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So, but being stronger is never weakness, and it might, help combining with the dry lube and the seal lube. It could help. The only other thing I would suggest maybe trying to figure out a way is some sort of strap around it to give you distance from the mechanism so you can drive down on the straps further away and not have to work with such a distended pull down where you can start down here and drive closer to you versus way out in front of you, if that makes sense. So if you were to anchor
the angle goes up under instead of out towards me. So
that's what I'm
what
saying.
makes it the most difficult.
Is if you were to get a strap and hook it around the handle, which would elongate your anchor point for your hands, so you could drive it here versus up out here and having to pull and then extend. You could start here and drive down with the strap.
Yeah, I
So
already broke the handle once using my foot on it. So
no, don't use your foot. It would just be like some sort of strap to basically create a point where you could pull below the handle and the strap is anchored. If this is the handle, you have a strap.
they do sell some products that I started looking at. So that might be something I should invest in before I go all the way to cutting it up and changing it entirely, because that's going to be, hundreds of dollars, whereas the device is, 20, 30, $40.
It's worth a shot. Experiment, see what works before you get to that, final permanent expensive solution.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Michelle. There's some people waiting. So Michelle doing so just a bodyweight squat. So long femur, short torso, which makes sense with her body angle. But she's having no problem getting depth. So we're squatting on a Smith machine.
And that amount of weight was a struggle for me. My legs are so weak.
So width looks good. We could I would start out maybe if we brought you in a hair. So because what I want you to start doing, we definitely have a weakness in the ab/adduction because we have this collapse. And what you can start attacking that with is actively driving your knees out when you input to squat towards your pinky toes. So when you descend, I want you to peel your knees out towards your pinky toe, and then when you drive up out of the hole, fire them out. Because I see you're sitting, but when you're standing, you actively drive your knees or turn your knees out towards your toe, you should feel glute activation.
Okay.
So when we get that glute activation in the rep, you should feel there is now an extra little bit of drive when you come out and you eliminate that. And sometimes it's just creating an active cue to start compensating for the weakness. So this is something that we can start with. I would even start doing like banded iso clams. If Ketch's still in here, he has gotten very familiar with those. Just time under tension.
Very familiar.
Each side laying. You know what a banded clam is, where you're laying on your side.
No clue.
Okay.
I mean, I have an idea. The knees are probably bent in and you're opening and closing like a clam with a band.
We're keeping our hip. We're not opening our hip. We're opening here. So I'm actually keeping my hip pushed forward and opening into that glute.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do for an isometric is I'm just going to hold. And if you can start with a band or a hip circle, and if that's too difficult, you can start without the resistance first and just try and hold. So mainly, it's not just so much for the weakness, it's that peeling out activation. I want you familiar with the sensation. So when you do apply it in a squat, you know exactly what to request of your body to activate.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Marc. So these are, looks like, okay.
Dumbbell, kickstand, stiff-legged deadlifts.
Yes. So I want you to bring that rear foot forward. Because that reaching is inhibiting your hinge. So you're out here like this. I want you to go here. And it's light. Like I can do this without any weight, just on balance. And I'm hinging, right? So if it's just here, this is just here is literally a kickstand, a guide. I'm using as little weight possible on this back foot. And what I don't want to happen is I don't want this to open up. I want to actively drive that off leg hip forward. And notice how when I push my hips back, I don't get into flexion in the lumbar. My range of motion for me, I'm also been sitting on a plane a lot. So I'm a little more tightened up than I would be. So my range of motion is going to be a little short. I'm pushing back into that glute and it's stretching. And I'm so tight, I'm feeling it stretching into my knee. But that's as far as I got right now. But what I don't want to do is reach forward into a fold. So for you, we're going to bring that foot forward like I was just doing, and we're going to hinge, pushing our butt back. You don't need to go up to the point where you come up into extension here, but part of it is because your foot's so far back. Vertical creates extension because you're extended. So bring that foot closer, bend that knee, and I want you to do your first couple reps with your feet together with both legs and feel that hinge pattern. Then I want you to do the rest of the set with that. Then I want you to do your set with dropping the knee or dropping the leg into that soft kickstand position, keeping that hip forward.
All right.
Make sense?
Yes.
All righty. Marc, these are ab wheel rollouts?
Yes.
Okay. This is good. So what you're doing really well here is you're extending out and coming down extended. The not easy way. But this is good. All the way down, big contraction, pulling it in. You're doing these great.
All I needed to hear.
Yeah, you're doing these. This is perfect, man. The only way to make these harder is go slower on the down and pause and try and like hover this far off the floor. But those are ways you can, if you're getting 10, 10's getting easy, add some tempo and some pause.
All right. That's the next focus then, I guess.
Bart. Dumbbell. So Bart is doing BDO?
Superset deadlift with dumbbell.
Okay. So your conventional deadlift looks awesome.
Thank you. I started putting more weight after TAL.
Yeah, this looks fantastic. Look, braces holding, squeezing your butt, locked out. I mean, bar path is fantastic. You're knocking these out, man. These are great. Dumbbell incline, this is good. So you pressed a little bit away from you on that one, and then once you got the lockout, you brought it up. So the only thing is look at the bottom. Look where your elbows are in relativity to the weight. They're behind it. So that means the start of your press is actually is going to be here, and then your elbows have to get underneath the power and drive back up towards your face. So when you come down, I want your elbow to be in line with your wrist as much as possible. Because look how when it starts, look at your input. Watch what happens first. Bar path is away. Now look. Now you're in line. And if I had to bet money, the rep probably feels way easier from that point on.
Absolutely.
Because you pressed, and then it's like, and we're in line. Boom, accelerate. You got in line with your power. So that wasn't a matter of weight. That was a matter of leverage. So that's something I want you to be very conscious of. And this is why videotaping your sets is a huge asset. Because you can use knowing this now, you know what to look for, and you can go, okay, that felt easier because my elbows were in line with my wrists and I was pressing, driving back up towards my face.
Thank you, Nick. I was actually finally putting the bench at 45 degrees because before I set it at 30. At 45, I feel it was worse, and now I know why. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Greg Orloff, looks like we're doing a deadlift.
Yeah, deadlift. Thanks,
Okay.
Nick.
Strapping in with the Versa grips. Okay, so being that it is a front angle, this doesn't look bad. Um, I'd like to see these from the side.
Okay.
The side gives me way more information on the hinge pattern. Um, it looks like your hips kick up and then you're a little bit out of position because your hips kicked up.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, the hips travel, and then now our leg drive's gone because our hips started simply in the wrong position. I don't want to give too much more input on where to be because I can't really see because
Okay.
I'm not from the side. So
Yeah.
I would love to see another deadlift out of you next week from the side.
Okay, we'll do. I'll film it. Thank you.
It doesn't look like a whole lot's going wrong here. It just simply looks like a matter of adjusting your position.
Okay. Part of the issue I had with it is I injured my shoulder. So I'm not sure how I did it. And I've been trying to figure out what exercise initiated it, but then what aggravates it. And it seems like anything I do lately, and I can't tell if it's a rotator cuff issue or if it's like a tendon or a ligament.
Does
It's just
this
like
hurt?
it hurts once I go back past 90. Like
Okay.
you see like that. I get a pain there.
Does raising hurt?
No, not really. But it pops too, Nick. It's like every once in a while it'll just pop and then it feels good. So I don't know whether there's gas building up in there, or I stretch something. It's weird.
Okay, so video one out of you next week, deadlift from the
Okay.
side. Video two, I want you to show me. So only this hurts going past a certain degree.
That to a certain degree, and then sometimes raising it when it feels like it needs to pop hurts too. And then that kind of gets better after it pops.
Okay, so um, I want you to record anything shoulder movement related,
Okay.
and this is going to be a little bit intensive because I'm basically going to have you record it all. And then I want you to send me the video where you feel pain in any of your in the shoulder movement that hurt
Okay.
during your workout. So yes, you're going to have to do a lot of recording, but it's just to catch it when it hurts. And then I want you to send me that video.
Okay. Will do. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right. Burying knees. Love it. I mean, this is a great squat, Joe. Oh, sorry, I gotta say it. Joe Sherlock squats for AI. These are great. The main thing that stands out to me is your unrack and walkout. So I want you to stand all the way up. Brace, unrack. Breathe under tension. I brace, unrack, breathe, walk out, rebrace, squat. But I want you to stand up and get biomechanically supported, then walk out, then brace, get set, squat. Because you do it here, then you get set, and then you squat. Your squat itself looks good. There's no issue with depth, that's for sure. So the main thing for you is that elbow angle where we're really kicked out. I want you to don't pull down on the bar, but I want you to drive your chest forward, not to poke your chest out, but to create this really tight shelf on your back. So you're going to basically think about squeezing your knuckles together behind your head. So we go here, and yes, when we're squatting, we're not going to be super proud chested just by the nature of it. And we brace and we bear down into my rib cage. When I'm braced, I'm not proud chest, but I'm driving the input to create that tension in the upper back. So when we do get down in that hole, we don't get out of position. So it gives you an ability to drive back into the bar as you're coming up out of that deep squat. Oh, Joe just joined. Joe, we're going over your video.
Oh, sick.
Basically what I was saying is if everyone's patient enough to hear me repeat it. I want to see a difference in your walkout. What I want from your walkout is I want stability and control because your squat starts there. So when you unrack, you brace, stand up. Rebrace. 1, 2. Rebrace, squat. We're not in a hurry. Because you kind of came up and out and were like in this position, then you got set, then you squatted. Your depth is great, your mechanics are great. The elbows back here, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we can milk a little bit more out of your full body tension. So I want you to imagine, I don't want you pulling down on the bar because I have a slightly upward input. What I'm doing is I'm driving this tension so it comes here. Think about pulling my fists around the back of my head. So I'm going here and creating this tension in my upper back. So when I get down into this point of the squat, what I want you doing is actively using that tension to drive up into the bar, to fire out of that hole. Because if we look right when you come out of the hole, look, see how that butt kicks up and back?
Yeah.
And then now you're kind of forward. The same time you drive with the feet to stand up, I want you to drive into the bar. Like you're getting a monkey off your back.
It's more about your fists than the elbows, about having your like arms back.
Yeah. See how you're because you're like here, if we get you tight and maintain that real estate that you got before you started squatting, so when you come out of the hole, you don't kick up and forward. So you're actually coming down and firing into the bar. Obviously, you won't do this.
Yep.
Exaggerating to give you eyes on the input. I'm here, and when I'm cranked in with the back, I can fire into the bar as one total unit.
Got it. That was super helpful. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. You're doing great. Your squats look better and better. I mean, no one's gonna, if someone comes after you for depth, they need to get their eyes checked.
Appreciate it.
Tomas, low incline bench press. Tomas, are you in here?
Yeah.
Did it specifically say low incline?
Yes.
Okay. We could probably get the increments a little bit more incline out of the incline. Just like a hair further if possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have your low incline and then you have like incline where it's almost like an overhead press. We just don't want to go that far. We still want you in the bench press plane, but this is so close to a flat bench. You see how you kick up with your hips? You took away the incline.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I want you a little bit more incline so when you do input leg drive, you don't end up flat again.
Yeah, okay.
The actual bench press in and of itself looked pretty good. Coming down to your chest line, fantastic. Driving back up towards your face, nailed it. Those shoulders are tight. You're on tight back. You're doing everything well.
Okay, cool.
I think we just need to get you a little bit more incline so we get the
higher,
incline
okay.
part of the press. Otherwise, well done.
Thank you.
Landmine kickstand.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you if that's okay as an alternative.
Yes, actually, it is. If this is what you have to do a kickstand deadlift,
I mean, I could do it
Absolutely. The
with
the other way
dumbbells.
you could do this is if you stand, if the barbell would be here and you're going here with it out to the side.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And then you switch and it will have like because when that comes up, it has that arc. So it kind of goes away from you. So you lift out. So then, I mean, how you're doing, if you did it the rest of your life that way, that would still be fine. But I think you will feel a little bit more core activation and glute activation if you're unilaterally loaded and you alternate when you switch each leg. So if I'm doing right leg, bar is left hand, and I go here, and then when I'm doing left leg, bar is right hand, and I'm hinging here, and you'll also feel a little bit more tax on the core because you're unilaterally loaded, and we can get more out of this movement for you.
Okay, I will test it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Your hinge pattern looks great. I love it.
Nice. Thank you.
Whole lot of single leg RDLs today. Jacqueline, your hinge looks much better. We're holding strong in this lumbar. You're firing through with your glutes. You're pushing the butt back. That front leg's loaded. You nailed these this week. Well done. Johan, barbell bent over row. Great. These are strict. Bent over enough. I'm happy with these. Good bar path. Well done. William deficit push-up. Oh, he did. He's feeling dangerous. He did the vertical dumbbells. You've been watching too much Instagram. I'm just kidding. It's a valid option to create a deficit. Deficit push-ups, you're just going past where you normally have access to with a conventional. And he's doing these great. I'm happy a dude in the Air Force knows how to do a push-up. That's me giving him shit because I was Army. Look at that. He got to a degree of difficulty to get another rep. He modified. Lillian, fantastic job, man. I love this. Effort. We're seeing effort. Dumbbell laterals. So you're going a little too far back, it looks like. Yes. So what I want to see is you take, instead of going up and back and and you're getting that rear delt and trap by doing so, I want you to turn those pinkies slightly up and make an arc, reaching for either wall. Think like if I was to make an arc and I was to bend my arms, I'm trying to get long and reach out on either side of me as I go out to come around. So to avoid doing this, I want you to turn those pinkies slightly up here. So as I'm coming around, I'm reaching out, pinkies a little bit higher than my thumb, and I'm coming up in that nice lateral plane and just opening up my wingspan. And you're going to feel that load, this delt cap, a little bit better versus when you go here, you're getting this big upper back and trap contraction, which you're still working something out. But I wanted to stay focusing on those delt caps. We want nice, big, juicy shoulders.
Hi, Nick. This is me.
All right.
This is going on from last week where you told me to do these off the floor. So
yes,
here we go.
That's the most British backhand ever. Yes. Timing's good. You're driving off the floor with the leg drive, and then the arms are picking up. You're extending. You're rising into triple extension in sandals like a gangster. These are good. I'm noticing a little bit of favoritism on the right side, or I guess your left, my
Yeah,
right.
I've got a dodgy shoulder. Similar to what that guy said, where he can't lift. I've had rotator cuff problems. It's getting better, but it's not perfect.
Have you played with your grip and gone, have you tried wider?
No.
So the narrower we get, the more that's required out of our shoulder mobility.
Ah, right.
So,
Okay.
for you, everyone, this is not a blanket cue. This is for Jamie Farr with his shoulder. You don't have his shoulder, cover your ears because I don't want overthinkers doing what they do. There's a variation called a snatch grip high pull, and it's much more upper back intensive because you know what a snatch is, where they go pow, right?
Yeah.
So if you come out, you don't have to go for a snatch grip truly, but if you come out a little bit wider so you're here, it may need less, it might require less shoulder impingement. So you're open, you won't be able to pull as high because it'll be harder to pull, but it'll give you that still that same activation in the rear delts, the full body. It's going to work the same shit. It's just going to be a little bit harder to maintain position out of the hole because we're spread out, which isn't a bad thing. It's going to make you stronger long term because it's like why wide grip pull-ups harder, right? It's making it less advantageous for our arms and recruiting way more back. So I want you to try these a little bit wider and see if you get that same sensation and play with different widths and see if anything's better. Worst case scenario, you can always come back to this. Otherwise, I loved how those were looking. Even from the side angle, these are looking really good. I mean, you're getting high. Realistically, I don't want to tell you to not go that high because I love the explosion. I love the velocity. But realistically, you only need to pull to about chin height for it to do its job. So even if we wind you out and you couldn't get that where you almost snap it over into a clean, because that's kind of almost like you're pulling it high enough, you can easily clean it.
Yeah.
I only need you to come to about chin mouth height because once we start traveling past our elbows, this is the plane we want. So if we're keeping here, boom, high pull. Almost cleaning.
Got it. Thanks.
Well done. I'm loving how those are absolutely flying.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Darabos, looks like trap bar deadlift. Yeah. So long pull. So Darabos, that's such a cool name. Sounds like Game of Thrones-ish. Darabos. So this little jerk you do right before you pull. Look, you get in position. This all looks fantastic. I love it. Let's see, where is it? I'm going to jump past it by accident. Watch. There it is. So this little down up, that, and then you boop jerk. I want you to get tension first. Get into position. As you brace, we go and we get tension, then we drive hard with our legs, finish with our glutes. So we don't get this. If we have this sudden pull, it means we didn't have tension. Collect your tension, input through your legs, stabilize with your brace, and accelerate the bar. I'm being picky. Overall, this looks good. We just need to get that little bit of jerk out of the way. Ian Miller doing top quarter squat. This is a heavy variation. Brilliant. So this variation of the squat it's a top quarter, which means think of it as the rack pull of the squat world. Rack pulls are heavier than our full range of motion deadlifts. They're overloading the top half, which is typically the part where we really start to accelerate at lockout. This is the same thing. It's building that top end power, and simultaneously it's getting your central nervous system to a heavier weight on your back, which there is carryover there to your full range of motion squats. Things start to feel a little less foreign when we get up to max effort because we've had more weight on our back. Ian, you're doing these exactly how they're intended. What I love about is his control on the way down with a maximal load on his back. That sentence sounds so bad in any other conversation other than lifting. Jesus. This eccentric, you might arrive on one thing to note here. You saw it on his first rep. You might arrive one side sooner than the other, and it might tink. But if you're braced, you're under tension, you didn't slam down free fall into those pins, you should be able to hold tight and continue through the rep. So that is what he's doing very well. Is he's waiting for the pins to arrive. He's not rushing. His tempo doesn't change the entire time on the way down. The pins he goes down till the pins arrive. Boop, time to go, and he's back up. Ian, fantastic job on these. These are good.
I have some shoulder issues on the right side too. So thank you. They
You
feel
don't
pretty good.
loom like it. I mean, you've got great range of motion. I mean, even the subtle bit of body English you're doing, you're not rounding out into flexion. You're keeping a nice rigid upper body. You've got a great contraction. And some finishers in there, I see. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with any of that. Those are great.
Thank you. Hey, with the legs, how much adding and how often?
Say that again. You had like a little bit of a cutout there.
Sorry, I'm en route to Phoenix. With the legs, how often should I be adding weight? And should I be I probably could have handled a little bit more weight with those squats. I mean, how much should I push myself? I have a good propensity to add weight. I'm like 65% Scandinavian. And so I put muscle on very quickly. I've just neglected my legs. I tend to focus on my arms and my upper body.
You should be adding weight whenever you can add weight. That's how you progressively get stronger. If you're going for the same weight, the same rep ranges, you don't gain in anything. You stay there. So, if I'm assuming you've read the first set or last set, my first set, I can never remember, first set, last set, mindset, whatever it's called. So it's basically attacking each set. So you might have 1 rep in reserve, 1 to 2 reps in reserve. So
I'll revisit it and check to make sure I've read it.
So, i.e. the squats, say you have a 3x3.
Okay.
Odds are you're probably gonna have to drop weight on the 3rd set. So if you're attacking the first set, and let's say you have 1.5, 2 reps in the tank when you get done, you're going to stay the same. Second set, you'll either have 1 rep most likely or no reps in reserve. Third set, you might have to drop 5 pounds or you might fail the third rep, or who knows?
Okay.
You've got a good
Okay.
motor, you can hang on for that. But if you're really attacking that mindset, and if the next week that comes around, you see something 3x3, you know what you started with last time, go 5 pounds heavier. Add weight till you can't.
Okay.
Don't be shy. If you fail a rep on the top set, that is totally okay. I don't want you having 5. I could have done 5, 6 more. That's what we don't want.
Yeah. Yep.
And
But I don't want you
another
0 on the top set
article,
either. So,
an article you can, Nick, can I chime in real fast?
sure.
Another article you might want to check out is the Pump Club training principles, also in the recommended tab, and it goes through this stuff. And I just want to make sure everyone's aware. Nick's hammering it really well, but when we talk about first set mindset or every set needing to find the hard reps, this isn't just like some random Arnold principle. This is the actual science of muscle and strength growth. Like I know people have heard, I know people have heard things about, your muscle gets torn and then it rebuilds. That's all wrong. The science shows that the only thing that causes growth is mechanical tension, which is a fancy way to say the rep is hard. So it's not just us when we tell you about first set mindset or finding the hard reps saying something. It's actually the only way you'll grow. So I'll let Nick take back over again.
The control group in weightlifting, whether you're bodybuilding, strength focus, like strongman, powerlifting, Olympic, is effort and time under tension. You need both. Those are the only things that truly matter and create gains. We use them in different ways depending on what the result is. You have tempo, isometrics, you have accumulated time under tension through volume, high reps. You have accumulated time under tension through tempo work, 1,000, 2, 1,000. You might get 1 rep and have the same amount of tension, time under tension, as 10 reps. But if the effort's not there, if I do a 10 count eccentric or I do 10 reps and I could have done way more weight, we're not getting everything we can get out of it. If I say 10 sets of 1 with 10 count eccentrics on squats, where every rep takes 10 seconds down, up, I can get a shitload of work out of that as long as I'm doing a weight every single rep where I'm on the cusp of potentially failing, or I might have 1 more in me. So the recipe of effort and time under tension doesn't change. The only thing that changes is our goal and what we want as the result. Do I want to get stupid strong, or do I want to be growth? Typically, they're byproducts of each other. Aesthetic is always a byproduct of strength when you're not eating like an asshole. But is training for aesthetic, getting stupid strong isn't always a byproduct. So examples, like look at your best bodybuilders in the world. They're not stronger than a high level amateur strongman, but their priorities are colossally different. So that's what I mean by the result is directed by the goal. The goal is met with the same 2 things, effort and time under tension.
Thank you. And I'll do my homework on that. Thank you so much.
Of course. These are great, super strict rows. Walter Eli used this one. So I'm guessing he did either that one for him or for me. These are good. Good tempo. I'm not gonna lie, these look a little easy.
All right, challenge accepted.
Good. I want to see you row a little bit more towards your stomach than your chest.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
want you to bunch up. I want you to row with a nice big lat swing. So what I mean by that is if I'm coming up here to my chest, I have to kind of bunch my shoulder up for that last range of motion. Whereas if I come at the natural gait from my shoulder to my elbow, you see how I don't bunch up to get my elbow up towards my shoulder. I'm rowing and still using all of that back.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll do
Yes,
that.
sir. But your position, everything, got a nice neutral back. All green lights.
All right. Thank you. Oh, you can if you want if you have a minute, you can fast forward. That was just a bench press, but it was labeled dumbbell row. So yeah, let's do this.
Technically, it's a reverse row. This is good. You're coming down. You could probably come down a little bit. So again, so we don't bunch up, come down to the bottom of that chest line like we would with the bar, and then press up towards your face. Your press up is good. It's very straight. But I want to see you come down slightly here. Again, that normal arc that we get from shoulder to elbow length. So we don't have to flare out and get out of position in the bottom. So we're here in a nice natural position and then driving back up towards our face.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Sandra, incline, B, barbell, bench press. Okay, got it. I had to work through the acronyms. Sandra, do me a favor, wipe off your screen.
Sorry, bud. The lighting in that
Got
place.
me. I'm like, do I have astigmatism? These are fantastic. I can see leg tension. I can see you using the lower body to support the upper body. The bar path looked fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, these are great.
Awesome.
You hit a home run here.
I'll take it.
Deadlift.
My screen.
Deliberate. I like it. In position. All right. You see how before you even start to drive, you start pulling the bar off the ground with your arms.
Okay.
I want those arms straight. And I want you to drop your butt just a little bit.
Okay.
So your hips are almost in line with your shoulders, which means there's more leg drive on the table. So if we bring our butt down to like here, our hip to like here, it'll put us it should bring our knees forward and it should bring your chest and shoulders. If this is my hips, this is my shoulders, what you're going to do is this, ever so slightly.
Okay.
And it's going to allow our quads to do some of that heavy lifting off the floor. But when you make that shift, you need to brace hard and maintain that brace, just like you're doing here, and fight for position because it's going to be a new position. So we don't want to let our body casually, and sometimes it's hard to catch because it feels normal, get back into this position. But we have more leg drive on the table than what you're getting out of it here, which means more weight.
Okay.
So arms straight. I want you to take those hips, bend the knees slightly, drop the hips. I mean, it's a matter of, it's such a small movement. It's a matter of this. That's it.
Okay. All right. I'll bring my bulleted list because I honestly, every time I do this, it's like I have to remind myself core tight, push with my feet.
That's good. I mean, I do the same thing to the point where like it just becomes something you do.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yes, ma'am. Boom. He just did it right there. What I was telling you to do. He just did it. Look at that. He went down to the bar. Look, boop, dropped into his hips, pushed the ground away, drove. Chris, well done.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, this is great. Arms close, using that length, packing the lats. I'd like to see you hold. I'd like to see that lumbar maintain neutral a little bit better on your rep work.
Okay.
Max load stuff, yep. That lumbar loads, it's max effort, but it doesn't cave. Loading's fine, caving bad. I'd like to see you fight to keep. I don't think it's a matter of strength. I think it's just a matter of conscious, right? Because you do it here. Look at that. Boom, she flat.
Yeah.
And then you sink down, which is good. This is good position. You see how your hips start to curl under?
Yeah.
I want you to keep that tailbone to the sky feeling. And you're going to feel some stretch here. That's okay. We're pushing. When we rotate down like you did, I want you to keep, if this is my tailbone, I want you to keep that tailbone pushed to the sky to create that nice neutral spine.
Okay, I'll keep working on that.
Otherwise, your deadlift is, the bar path, everything, you're one fine-tuned thing is what we're focusing on. Your deadlift looks fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well done. Karl, barbell, front squat, and stiff leg deadlift. Karl, are you in here?
I am.
Would you normally deadlift that wide with the foot width?
Generally, yeah. I think that's generally how I set up, yes.
So I want to bring you in a little bit.
Okay.
I think we will get a little bit more out of your position in your deadlift, not so wide. You don't strike me as a super wide-hipped individual. So us in that, like that width, I think it'd be great if you were strict pressing. Nice wide base. But the reason being is to be that wide when we deadlift, that means our hands have to be outside of our legs, which means we lose arm length. And some people do deadlift with wide, some people don't. So it looks like you're somewhere. Looks like you're somewhere in here right now, like pretty spread out. If we get you, I want you to put your knees right under your hips. And I want you to deadlift that bar so your hands come right down the sides, you stand up. And then that stiff leg deadlift is the same. Brace, hinge back. Focusing on this. You had a little bit of slack in that lumbar, but nothing catastrophic. So it's not bad. It's just a little bit of a little polish. And I think you narrowing up that stance a little bit should allow for that to feel somewhat easier glide path wise. The other thing is when you're moving like this, you see how you're kind of just bending over?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to push butt back to the point your toes start to get light. And this is good. This is a neutral spine. But if we get you pushing back and feeling that stretch down through the glutes and the hamstrings, that's a crucial part to the stiff leg variation.
Okay.
These are the front squat. Blocks. Have you heard my front rack position spiel?
I have not.
Okay. So let's see how you're squatting first, and then we'll go over the rack position. Just sit lower.
Okay.
Sit back towards, I want you to, just like a back squat, I want you to sit back past your heels. Again, you might be a little bit wide here. It might be worth narrowing up and angling your toes, that outward, well, you are. I just looked at the blocks and it looked like they were, getting you a little bit, and I mean a half foot width on this. So
Okay.
half your foot width on each side come in. It's not much.
Yeah, I
So,
got a number of my arm doing those. Got probably see it.
yeah. So we're gonna fix that.
Okay, great.
Rack position. It's not in front of the shoulder. It needs to be behind the delts. So up here. There are a few people on earth that I've seen that can maintain this, and they have some of the strongest shoulders. One's a world record presser, the other one deadlifts 900 pounds. They are incredibly strong humans and then get away with this because their core is just bulletproof. This is the hardest way to hold a bar because you have no dictation on it. So being that it's here, that means it's further away from you. So you're giving the weight leverage. We want to take leverage for ourselves. We want to be greedy about leverage. So have you tried the elbows high, fingers underneath the bar?
Yeah, that was really, it was more of a wrist flexion problem there where I was really having trouble keeping my elbows up at that point.
Yes.
And I felt like I was holding the bar totally in my hands. And by the time I got done with just a few reps, my hands were the problem, were the limiting
All you
factor.
need is 2 fingers.
Yeah.
And it literally needs to be this deep in your fingers. And you don't want to be over your shoulders. You actually want to be outside your shoulders. It's basically acting like a chalk block. They're just
It
wedging
shoved
it
up against you.
Yeah. So we're using that tension. I even wrap my wrist when I do it, and it helps with some of that strain. But unless you have some sort of mechanical restriction, injury, I refuse to hear I can't fill in the blank when it comes to that rack position. Now, if you're first learning it, your wrists start getting beat up, you take a lifting strap like we'd use on a deadlift or something, and we tie it around the bar. And then we have these 2 dangling straps. We crank our hands in and come under the bar, and now we have handles up here. So we can maintain, that is the second best option. So we can maintain that front rack position. And we recorded a masterclass video on front squats Monday.
Awesome.
So that whole thing, I do go over the rack position and the strap method within that masterclass video. But there are mobility exercises that you can go through to get into that position gradually over time, doing them daily. And then once you get that mobility, doing them in your warm-ups before front squats and when you need it to maintain that mobility. It's something when I haven't front squat in a while, it's something I got to do every time. And I know I'm going to front squat. I got to get back to that point of mobility because it sucks. So yes, I definitely want to get your bar behind the delt, whether you use the strap method or the finger method. Both are totally valid, but you should not ever have bruises on the sides of your biceps from front squatting because the bar's too far away from you.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is a totally new movement for me. I'm a dumbbell refugee, just starting on barbells, so this is all completely brand new.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing a front squat. We just need to get you sitting deeper, and we need to change your rack position. And I bet you'll squat deeper easier when you have more control on the bar.
Yeah, I'm sure I would. Yeah, for sure.
So I want to see more front squats out of you, and I want to see more stiff leg deadlift.
Awesome. Okay, will do. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Jennifer Vars, we are doing, looks like deadlift. Our starting position was great. Our second rep was even better than our first. So it's just a matter of positioning on the first one. It looks like you got a little bit too low. Your hips kicked up and back, which caused you to two-piece it. Yep, that little bit. So go back to that starting position. So yep, hips are rising. Leg drive's ending and we're still hinged. So now our knees are almost straight. Now she's got to really fight. So yeah, it's positioning. So with this position, you notice it's not as exaggerated on the other reps, but we're still doing it. You're essentially locked out and still having to hinge the rest. So let's bring your butt up a hair. Let's get our hips slightly higher. So when your leg drive starts, your hips rise with the bar and then eventually come through. We don't want to straighten out our legs and then finish by just hinging back. It needs to all, if this is our butt, this is our shoulders, it needs to all do this when we deadlift. Shoulders rise, hips are coming through. Not hips come up, shoulders come up. It needs to be one unified push and pull. Amelie, high pull with extension. So let's see. Yep, wider grip. Good. Much better. The main thing now, the high pull is looking great. Amelie, that jerk on the bar. We don't want to jerk. I want you to pull in tension like you would on a deadlift and fire hard without jerking on the bar. At a heavier weight, it will pull you out of position. But the actual high pull itself, the bar path, everything, the extension is looking fantastic. Good. Yeah. You're getting the hang of it. We're going to keep this going. I want to see you get that jerk out of it. And then we can progress. Beautiful. Matthew Riker's deadlift. But a little too low. Boom. There. That's your starting position. You see how slightly lower than that, but we don't want to be down here. That's your starting position, essentially. That's where I want you to set up. That's where I want you to start because that's the hip height at which your leg drive goes into the bar. The rest of your hinge pattern, everything looks great. It's where it's supposed to be. Push the ground away, hips come through. Yep, that was a good one. Don't be soft in the hips. Fire. When that bar breaks off the ground, start accelerating it. Slam those hips through. Squeeze your butt cheeks hard. This is bench press. It might just be the angle, but your grip looks close. Again, could just be the angle. Otherwise, the bar path looks good. I see some tension in the legs. I mean, you're stable. Look at that. I could see you brace when you went to drive. Yep. Failure. It's part of the game. That was good. He's in a hurry to get to that rack. Bryden Overton, we're gonna see what it says. Bent over row. High pull. Okay. So I want more extension. Your hips are still behind you, but you might be a little too narrow in the grip. Got to get a little bit wider than you, like just outside of your shoulders. Reason being is when we do that pull, we don't want our elbows to fold here. We want to pull through, keeping those elbows high. As we come up, we pull through into extension. Here, not here. Deadlifts from Bryden. Okay. I think. Good. Yep, set the back up right before he pulled. Fantastic. You were a little bit past the bar on that rep, meaning it had that slight swing out. But this was a great set. Couldn't really tell where lockout was because the plates. But strong, good, solid effort. Setting the back up. Thoracic flexion, that's fine. Gives him leverage. Make sure you keep that underhand arm straight. Otherwise, your deadlift's looking fantastic, man. You've come a long way. Lisa Peace, back squat. Yes. Fire back into that bar, Lisa. When you come up out of that hole, I want you driving into that bar with all you got. There you go. Good. At depth. This is great.
I was looking at the first form check video I submitted. I'm going to do a comparison soon. It's just my squat's so much better now.
Oh, night and day difference. As I just said about Brighton's deadlift. I mean, you've come a very long way. Also, I talked to Zach over at Liberty Performance. I'm going to connect you guys so you can learn the ropes on what is needed for a powerlifting meet.
Cool. I accidentally submitted 3 videos. The rack pull, you don't need to look at that one whenever it comes up if they're not in a row. Yeah, you can skip this one.
Okay.
I've got a spot press in there somewhere, I think.
Alrighty. Then 50 kilo shoulder press. Okay. Yes. Ben, only thing, look at our front rack position. Look how far again we're here. I want to see you. I don't care if the bar has to come up a little bit higher as the bottom. But when we're trying to press from here, we have to have this big bar path fight to get it where it needs to go versus if we're here, bars in close, chins out of the way. Look how much more inline wrists are to elbows. So that press initiates the direction we want it to go. $100-kilo row. These are brilliant. about as strict as they come, super bent over, a lot of core and back strength happening here. But those were beautiful. You look frustrated. I don't know what you said, but those look awesome. That was 3, but just for shits and giggles, I'm going out on a limb here, and I bet, yep, he's a depth. Nailed it. All right, Andres. Yes, you did it.
Got it.
You did it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the shoulders start the movement.
Yeah, you do. Bip, flick them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Outstanding. Plus, your arms look jacked in this video, dude. Hell
Oh yeah, well, I'm working on it.
Nita, I saw you submitted several.
Yeah, I did. That was before. On this one, I kind of want to know, am I bent over too far? It feels like I don't have much range of motion. And the thing is coming up and hitting me in the chest.
No. I typically I'm bent over far further than that just because I think my bench is higher. But no, I mean you're
Okay.
the only other thing, I mean, I don't have boobs, so I don't have that issue.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. But I was wondering if
So
I needed to adjust, angle because yes, I have a bigger
the
chest.
only other thing would be if you turned, like drop your shoulder into it and turned so it brings your chest open and you can curl that way versus being here down over it. If you're able to drop the dumbbell side shoulder, bring back the opposite side shoulder to create clearance. Because this is how I do them. I create
Okay.
clearance that way.
It's just, like I say, it just feels like I'm doing partial reps.
Yeah, the only other thing you could do is if you raised your bench and you did it more like a preacher curl.
Okay.
That's another way to do it.
Well, and then I've seen another way where it was a video of Arnold where he was standing up and had one, hand on the knee and then did it that way.
Yeah, that's an option.
And
There's a couple ways you can go about this.
okay. All right. That's what I needed to know about that.
What out of the ones you sent, what's the other one you want me to look at the most?
The rows.
The rows. Okay.
And again, I'm not sure about if I'm bent over too far. And again, it's the same problem, I've got all of this front stuff in the way.
No, the bend over angle's great. You could potentially turn them so you're rowing
Okay.
to
I
clear the
wondered
front of
about
that
that.
dumbbell to more of a neutral grip.
Okay. All right. I'll do that. Thank you.
But your form is fantastic.
Thank you. I actually today did those with 58-pound dumbbells.
Okay, good.
And today, I got to brag. I found a way to add some more weight, and I lifted 138 for 2 sets of 3
Okay.
on deadlift. So I'm pretty pleased with myself considering I started with like 0 last August.
You should be. You're supposed to be excited about these things.
Well, and I have a question for you too. Just out
Sure.
of curiosity. I found there's this website, I don't know if you know anything about it. It's called strengthlevel.com.
Not familiar.
Okay. Well, the idea is that you put in your your age, your weight, your various amounts that you've lifted on or can lift on particular moves, and it kind of gives you an idea of your strength rating if you're beginner, novice, whatever.
I don't like that system. Here's why.
Okay.
Because example, when I first started doing this, I was picking up weights that were at a higher level, right? If it were to go off of weight moved, I go off of the combination of weight moved and how you move, and knowledge of movement across a big movement index. So, I come from a rural area. I know a bunch of corn-fed boys that can walk up, never deadlifted a bar in their life. They'll pick it up with the ugliest form you've ever seen, but they'll stand up with 400 pounds and think nothing of it.
Right.
But that doesn't make them advanced. That means they have a lot of potential, but it doesn't make them advanced.
Ah,
So
gotcha.
I don't love, I get the attractiveness behind it, and that's what a powerlifting meet's for, right? Like that gives you real, we're talking about two different pools. We're talking about strength pools and rankings. We're talking about gym goer lift, hobby strength, if you will, or I don't want to slight any of you, but there's thank you. There's you have tiers to this, right? And this is where, for total transparency, I got into a deep conversation with Adam and Ketch on I disagreed on what I considered advanced, intermediate, and beginner. Mainly the differentiator was what I considered intermediate and advanced. Ketch knows this. I don't consider Ketch advanced. Due to his movement index knowledge and how he moves. You might look at him, man, he's almost 500 pounds. That's advanced. It's not advanced. He's good because he's putting the most time and attention towards a deadlift and squats, but we're bringing all the other things up. But he just learned fundamentally how to clean and press. So clean and press is a very fundamental movement. So, and what sparked the conversation was the workhorse program that I'm releasing. It has Turkish get-ups. It's a higher level movement. It has a lot of clean and presses. It has cleans for conditioning. It has carries. It requires an advanced level of a more advanced level of knowledge. So I had to kind of change. I had to create two different scales for myself where I have advanced, I have my old scale, and then I have my scale for when I coach here because it is completely different pools of people. My one scale is specialized, and the other one is more so a broad spectrum. So my beginner on this, everything just kind of moves to the left on this scale, whereas my beginner I view as know nothing, have never done anything. Whereas like a beginner on my other scale was like, oh, they just kind of got started, they're starting to get familiar. Intermediate means they know how to squat to depth. And that's true for both squatting to depth, benching with mostly correct form. They need techniques, not overhauls, polishing. Advanced is you have a general idea of how to do a very big list of movements at a fundamental safe level. Whereas advanced on my other scale is I don't have to really teach you how to do anything. It's a matter of managing your effort and guiding you through. You might have one or two movements every training block that is unfamiliar and you just hadn't had exposure to them yet. But you move at a very high level. So when it comes to those mechanisms that rank people based on weight, I think it can go one of two ways. It can either inflate an ego or it can be very discouraging. But it gives a false sense of, oh, I'm advanced, and it's that's not the case. A lot of times in my experience, people think they're more advanced than they are, but I think that comes down to exposure to that thing that they're doing. Like you have big fish, small pond. You have a guy that wins a lot of local comps. Then he goes something to national level and he gets blown out of the water. And one of two things happens. He either gets competitive and gets stronger, or he's like, makes a bunch of excuses and never does national level again because he's no longer the big fish. Or the other side of the spectrum, people that play way too conservative too often. So on that weight spectrum, they're not getting a true reading because they're constantly, oh, I deadlifted, blah, blah, blah. And then those are the people that come to a pump club meetup and have 100-pound PR. And all that tells me is like, you haven't hit the gas pedal yet. So they're fun.
Well,
But
see, that's kind of where I was kind of wondering because, I don't have a frame of reference. I'm out here in rural Missouri with no frame of reference. And so I was kind of wondering, well, what are other 68-year-old women able to do?
I would say you specifically, I'd say you're in the minority, the vast minority. You move well. You hinge well, which is very uncommon for women your age. How do you see most people your age pick something up? There's a bunch of getting down, like they have to take a knee to bend down because they dropped their phone. You're doing it with a respectable amount of weight. So I don't give a fuck about the weight on that thing. You're already in the minority and you hinge at a high level. Your hinge patterns are very, very good.
Thank you.
You're one that I would say that probably plays conservative rather than the other side.
Well, if I had some more weight, I could figure out, I would do some more.
So I don't want whatever number or whatever statistic that tells you because realistically, I don't know where they gathered their data, and it could only be the pool of people that are even using it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and let's be honest, most 68-year-olds, you got to teach them how to send an email. So,
You do some, but I hang out with a different crowd than that.
I say that at 33, just learning how to use Zoom within the last year. So,
yeah. I know.
Hey,
That's what.
says the guy that learned to mute people last week.
Yeah.
I just said that.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is I don't want you to get caught up on that number. If it's something you do for fun as a game, fine. But I don't want it impacting your progress because you've been progressing very well.
Okay. All righty. Well, I'm glad I asked you. I almost didn't.
It's okay.
Thank you.
I'm glad you did too. All right, Lisa, your Spotto press. So for those of you that don't know what a Spotto press is, it's a bench press, but you come down about 1 to 2 inches off your bottom chest line, and there's a pause. You nailed that. That's a Spotto press. And it's named after the guy who invented them. Something Spotto. I forget. Lisa, you nailed these. You have nothing to be concerned about. That's a Spotto press.
Okay.
Same thing I was cueing people in earlier, David. It's not as drastic. Oh yeah. David Keller, dumbbell, incline press. That where elbows come back out of alignment with our wrists and put to the dumbbell. I want to see that staying in position. Elbows stacked underneath wrists, driving up towards our face. Good. Rowing towards that midsection, belly button area. You knocked these out, David. Well done. I like it. Moving well. Just a small fine-tune adjustment on input to the dumbbell position on the dumbbell bench press. Peggy's heaviest squat attempt. Okay. that flew. What do you mean heaviest?
Yeah, that was the heaviest I've
Yeah.
ever attempted. And if you can see my training partner's face, he's like, you sandbagged it.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
But this was from yesterday. I'm afraid that I had him spot me. I'm afraid of dumping that bar or failing. If we could talk about how I get out of that so I can go heavier without being afraid or needing someone's help.
Fail once. Let yourself, like, we literally talked about failure with AJ. It's part of this. I mean, you've got all the right precautions in place. It has the squatting arms, you have a spotter, you have all the right things. Like, if you're gonna go for a PR, and if you've never failed a PR, you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, I've had with deadlift. I have absolutely with bench press, but squat I have not. That's where we're at.
What makes you scared of failing on squat versus bench press? I mean, you can come down on your freaking face with a bench press.
So I have a very strong spotter always with bench press. And I don't always have Ty here spotting me. And
Ty's not stronger than that big metal rack.
yeah.
Neither am I.
I think he might be, but so I can just dump it on that and crawl out from under it? Really?
That is the entire purpose of spotter arms.
Okay.
And this is one of those old school robust ones.
I've done that once or twice myself.
I mean, that's probably tube steel.
It's strong.
No offense, but you don't have 600 pounds on the bar.
No, I know.
It's not gonna. At the odds are you're not gonna, where you're at now, you're not gonna fail. If you fail, it's gonna be somewhere in here. Somewhere between there and there.
So when I'm low and close to the
so somewhere in this realm is where, once you exceed that halfway point and the hips pretty much clear the knees, we're in a much more advantageous position for power. So typically when a squat fails, it's when your hips are trying to get past this position, which coincidentally, the bar's closer to the squat arms. So you don't have to worry about damaging equipment because it's only got to go a foot at the most.
Yeah.
And the only thing I tell you though, if you are pushing it and you're in a place where you need to discuss, whoever's spotting you needs to be on the same page as you. And when I'm spotting someone, I tell this. I said, are you gonna bail, or are we riding the lightning together? Because I need to know if when I grab you to stand up, you're not gonna quit. And you're not gonna try and bail. Because if you bail, then now all of that weight comes on to me and I get fucked up potentially if I'm not ready to take it. So if he's back there spotting you and your standard operating procedure is bail, he needs to keep his distance. If anything goes wrong in the bail, he can grab the bar. But if you're like, hey, if I fail, grab me, I'm going to keep squatting.
Okay.
Help me up.
Okay.
That's the only nuance to that. But don't be afraid to fail on a squat when you've got dual layer protection right now. You've got spotter, you've got arms. Like, you're in a position, you're doing this right.
Okay. Thank you. And how does the squat look? Because
it looks like you need to go heavier.
All right.
I'm just gonna say that, so you don't get a chance to overthink it. Heaviest squat ever is something you could have probably done for 5 reps.
Thanks, coach.
Hit the gas pedal, goddammit.
Okay. Thank you.
What is this volume?
These are just my reps because this was the first time I ever filmed myself and ever looked at my squat. This was yesterday. This was very hard for me to even look at.
These are great. What's the issue?
You're not up in my head.
You need to go heavier on squats. I mean, you just did. I want to see you accelerating the bar. I want to see some violence in your movement pattern.
Okay.
Like you want to power lift, start generating fucking power. And you're at a weight there where like it's like you have this, it's like you're trying to be smooth and correct all the time.
Yep.
When you could probably input harder out of the hole and make that bar go. So here's the trick. This is where effort comes in. If I'm moving lightweight like it's light all the time, how do I make that lightweight work for me in the volume? It's like let me put it like this. If I'm doing sprints to get faster and I'm constantly doing a sprint at 80 to 90% of effort, how do I push that faster at 100% if I don't do the reps at 100%, even though it's not 100% weight? So I need those big inputs, right? I want to see acceleration on weight that should be speeding up, because that's the same input you're going to put under 100% max effort 1 rep, even though it's going to go slow. It's still the same input. It's just heavier, so it moves slower.
Thank you so much. I'll keep working.
Hit the gas pedal.
I will. Thank you.
Benoit, are you in here?
Yes, I'm in here, but the network is bad.
What videos do you want me to go over? Because you sent me a shitload. Pick 2.
Yeah. I think you can skip that one.
Okay.
I don't fully remember what I said. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Because because I had pain in my right shoulder afterwards.
Right. You didn't have any pain during?
Nope. No, and since then it's maybe 2 weeks ago, and the pain is still there. It makes a little click, and when you want to show your traps, for instance, then it pulls on the clavicle a little bit, but it's not a major thing. It feels tight.
I bet you have a lat or something in your scapula bound up. So what are you doing for mobility? Like, are you lacrosse ball? Like, are you attacking? Are you attacking any of that upper body recovery work, mobility work? But
yes, I'm doing mobility work.
It's not the same pain you had during the pull-ups.
Nope.
Okay.
No, that the pull-ups is on my left side.
I mean, you're getting heavier, so like you're experiencing weights and volume that you haven't had before. So twinges and tweaks and pains are expected. So could be a knot. I mean, this is going to be super hard to diagnose because the movement pattern looks good. So, I mean, you're getting.
Well, it happened while I was fried. My central nervous system was fried, so I may have pushed too hard with the wrong form at that time.
Yeah. So here you see our shoulders are not packed into our lats. We're reaching forward. So now we're loading that shoulder joint at the top. And then look, the shoulder comes out to finish off and reach versus keeping that super tight lat position and I'm pressing. Notice how I don't come out here. I stay, my press is done. I don't, ugh. Okay. That's when the loading of the shoulder joint happens.
Yeah,
which
and
would make
I think
sense
it's at the end.
If you're feeling pain when you try and show your traps and you get into that flexion position, when we do that in a bench, it's the same position.
Yeah, when I push forward like you just did, that's where the pain comes to my clavicle.
Yeah, because you're not supported by your lats in your back anymore. You push
I think
out
it's
of
at
position.
the end.
In position, out of position.
Yes, but I think at the end I'm struggling a lot, and I push without squeezing my lats. So that's where I create the pain.
Yeah, I think that is very likely the culprit. So we need to get in the habit of finishing our press in position. The only time I've ever had to come out of position is when I just set my rack a little too high and I finished my press. I went, oh shit, I got to get up there. And I had to like hit just briefly, but I try not to do that. So we need to get in the habit of pressing and maintaining our back tension so we don't, even under fatigue, like you see how simple it can be to kind of just get a little tweak going, and we just it can be that quick.
Probably I should leave one rep in reserve so that I avoid pushing while releasing my lat.
That's not a fatigue issue because this is more work than here. This is harder. So it's just don't push as far.
All right.
Fuck all the noise in the head of how do I blah, blah. Just don't press this, don't reach. Just simply stop. Simplify it for yourself. Stop. I'm up, okay. My arms are locked out. Stop. Don't go any further. Keep my butt tight, my back arched, and stop when I can no longer reach. Keep your back together.
All right, thank you.
Yes. One more. Dumbbell bench.
I think you can skip that one.
Okay. Hamstring ball.
That one, that one as well. I feel it in my hamstring, so it must be good.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, I think the last one is quarter squats, or it's rack pull. That one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the noise. I'm
okay.
uncomfortable right now.
These are great. Look at that acceleration. Big squeeze.
I am just below the kneecap, so that is.
Yeah, that's great. No, Benoit, these are great.
Good, thank you.
I'm happy with these, man. These look fantastic. Well done. Nothing to overthink here. That was a great set.
Okay, thank you so much, Nick.
Yes, sir. All right, Sandip. Let's see what you submitted. I know it was several videos. But I know we're working on your deadlift and your squat the most right now, so. Same thing, getting that elbow up and out of the way. You're still, that right one's lagging a little bit and pulling back. But the hinge and the bar path is looking much better. We can get a little bit more extension, getting those hips through, really rising up into that extension. Try and go a little bit wider with your grip, just slightly, like another 2-knuckle width.
Okay.
We really want that open so we can get those elbows up. But it's already looking better, man. Bridget Tebow. These are good. I don't know if you're in here, Bridget, but I don't know what your questions are here, but these are fantastic. Good contraction. Either shoulders coming together at the top. Those are great. Donald front squats. Got some heel elevation in there. Beautiful. Donald, you're nailing these. Look at the depth. Love them. All right, Colin. You're back.
Sorry, my talk to is ACL.
When you get your feet a little bit wider, we're a little narrow here. More narrow than normal. How's the band feel?
Good.
How'd your glutes feel with it?
I feel them.
So if we get you a little bit wider, that'll give you more of a plane to fire out against that band.
Should I start doing clamshells?
No, we don't necessarily need you doing clamshells. It's just your foot width there. So if I'm narrow, I can only go out so far. Whereas if I'm here and I activate into the band and I'm where I need to be, I have active input out to keep my knees in line. So if I'm narrow, there's less input than there is when I'm just here. So even when you're not squatting, you still have to fight against the band to light up your glutes. Just by your width.
Double my total width.
Say that again. I couldn't hear you. I was too far away.
Should I double?
Should you double?
My total width.
You only need to come out like a half foot width each side.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a lot.
Okay.
Not quite shoulder width, but maybe just under them, just inside slightly, just a little bit. We don't want big changes. We want, if we need to go out further, we need to work out to it. We don't need to go right to it.
Okay. Does it matter if my toes are pointed?
We want toes pointed slightly out.
Okay, sure.
Within the realm that you can control.
Like I dancing.
Yes.
You like.
Yep. Yep. Whether it's this or this, whatever feels better.
Okay.
We don't want straight or in. We want
even
a slightly out, that's going to vary. Whatever you can get to and hold on to when you're doing that is what I want.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, sir. Baird on the Bulgarian splits. These look better. I want you deeper. I want you to not bounce off the ground. I want that back knee to kiss the ground. Just a little gentle, under control. I want you putting your kneecap through the floor. But we want to get you deeper because now we're getting your width down. We're getting comfortable. We're figuring it out. Let's now push to really get down into that split squat. Ken barbell front squats. All right.
Really?
Deeper. Rack position looks good. Look at that brace holding up. Strong back, strong core. I need you to get deeper. And if deeper feels uncomfortable, feels like you might fold, try bringing your foot within ever so slightly, the slightest little adjustment, so we can squat over our quads, not necessarily fold in between them. But I want to see depth push a little bit more. I want to see that hip line breaking the knee line. So your kneecaps here. I want to see this get below that. Everything else, look at this position. This is fantastic. Look at those erectors. He got a big back. Love that. Yes. Derek Sanford with deadlift. Great position. Super visible bracing going on. I love it. Hate when the gremlin staples those plates into the floor. Been there. Ooh. I mean, man, you're not doing anything wrong. It just didn't go. And that is the duality of this. Sometimes it's like, oh man, I got to get this there. I got to be in this position. And then it's the simple. It just didn't go. And it'd be like that. But you know what? That's the simplest deduction means come back stronger. It's the duality of weightlifting. Sometimes it's a lengthy, nuancy answer. Sometimes it's just come back stronger. I mean, even your position at failure looked great. Brace looked good. Everything. I mean, he's deadlifting raw, no belt, no shoes, no straps. It's a man's man right here. It's fantastic. It just didn't go. That's the way the cookie crumbled, I guess you could say. It just wasn't there, and that's okay. But if we're failing occasionally, it means effort's up there. We're pushing or flirting with that pass or fail line. He had the balls to make a big jump a jump that he was, he knew he was on the cusp of. And depending on training, day, fatigue, nutrition, whatever, it could go or not go. When we're on this, like that second attempt, I mean, he was flirting with the line of it budging. Right here, when it comes up, we get daylight underneath of it. And this is that pass or fail moment where sometimes it is just, we have just enough to pull through that. And sometimes gravity wins. And here's the real shitter is that difference of, see how that weight's hovering and he like stalled there and pulled on it? That might be a difference in 5 or 10 pounds of pressure. A couple pounds of pressure could have subtly kept that weight moving. I mean, you could have dropped a feather on him and it would have fallen out of his hands. Like that's PRs. That's the nature of it. When you're truly on the cusp of your limit, it's a couple pounds of pressure that could make or break. Like I could have put my finger to that bar and he likely would have kept going. And that's the reality of it. And that's okay. That's a great place to be. And even though it sucks, missing PR sucks, it never doesn't suck. It's frustrating. We set these goals and our standards for ourselves and we want to win them. But if you're truly strength training, you're going to fail PR attempts. You're going to. So Derek, fantastic job. Your pull looks great. Have a beer, lick your wounds, run another training block, and come back and kick it right in the teeth. Julianna is doing goblet squats. Yes. It doesn't get any prettier than that, Juliana. It really doesn't.
I was convinced that I'd either gone too heavy and my form was like really, really bad, particularly on the last one. I feel like I'm like leant forward a bit too much.
I mean, fatigue is real. If your form's starting to struggle on the last 1 or 2 reps, it means you picked a good selection. But
Amazing.
like that breakdown was so subtle and minute. I don't think you fully understand what too heavy is yet. Too heavy means your form goes or you go down and don't come up.
Okay.
So I think you were on target more so, maybe on the little on the conservative side. But I mean, if those last couple reps were like, I don't know if I have 1 or 2 more, then you're right where you're supposed to be. But how long have you been lifting?
So I've done the foundation program twice, and I've been doing this program now for like, as in using actual weights for like 3 weeks. I did used to weightlift about 10 years ago, like quite consistently, and then kind of dropped off and haven't been able to get back in it until the app. So I feel like I had, but even some of the stuff that I learned back then, though, like I don't think it's necessarily applies now. So like I was always taught ass to grass, like go as low as possible with squats, and with you guys I've learned about like the butt wink and stuff and that.
Yeah.
So you can go too low basically. So yeah, it feels like
I think I want to see you be a little bit more ambitious with your weight selection, less conservative. I want you to make it hard.
Okay.
Experience that level of resistance and effort. Taste it, feel it, get comfortable with it. And then if you're missing, 2 reps on your top set or at the end, back off 5-10 pounds. I'd rather see you, again, I've said this before, I'd rather see you miss a rep on your top set or fail than have 3-4 reps in the tank.
Okay.
Because I know you're not lacking in effort. And you'll get further missing that 1 rep than you will having 3, 4, 5 reps in reserve.
Okay, I will say this was during the heat wave in the UK, so it did feel like I was sort of at my limit, but it was maybe more so the heat rather than the weight.
Welcome to American summer.
We're chickens.
I was on a call with my coach Tom, and he's sitting there saying I might get AC. I'm like, what do you mean you don't need AC and you're worried about 80, 90 degrees?
I was literally saying the same actually to the crew of champions the other day when I was just like, I think me and my partner are thinking about getting AC because it's been rough. Although we have got 2 American
You guys get a
bulldogs.
couple hot days and you guys are reconsidering your entire life choices. That's crazy. Brilliant. You move so well.
Thank you.
Let me see what these last couple of reps look like.
So I made sure I did the last set as well.
Go heavier.
Okay.
Definitely on those.
Okay,
That
cool.
looked like you're like, all right, I'm gonna go have some tea.
Okay, amazing.
That look has
Too cash. Okay.
you
Because
move
I feel
well.
like I bumped it up because last time I did like 10 kilo and this time I think I was it was with 15. So I felt like, oh, well, I've gone up like 50%. So, but yeah, more. Okay.
You're stronger than you think. You are. I understand why you're conservative, and it's okay. It is, I don't you don't want to run out here and hurt yourself. You've got a job, you've got a life, but you move so well, and your sets look so casual. I want you to take advantage of how well you move and push weight a little bit more.
Okay.
Well
Do
done.
that. Thank you.
Top shelf gov.
Cheers.
Sandip, do you want me to do these, or is there another movement you want me to do as your second?
You can skip this one.
Okay.
I think this is the. Yeah, you can skip this one. This is the stiff leg.
Deadlift?
No, the deadlift is from the side.
You want me to hit this one?
Yeah. I
Okay.
will try.
Better. Much better. How'd that feel?
It felt better. I actually had to drop like some weight just to clean this up a bit so I can get trained with a better form and work my way back up. But it
So
felt better.
now I need you to sit into your hips a little bit more. So we're using a lot of hamstring, glute, and back because we're not getting a lot of leg drive due to hip position. So this is one of those where if this is your shoulders, this is your hips, and we're here, your shoulders are going to come up as your hips sit. So we want to load that quad. It was the same thing I gave Becky at the very beginning of this, is we want to get more legs. There's more on the table with your positioning, and we're honing in. And your back looks much better neutral, but you're having to fold more because your hips are so high. So you have to hinge down further. Whereas if we bring your hips down around your shoulders, now we're in a more advantageous position that is less angle on the back. So literally, all you're doing is this. You're currently deadlifting here. We're going here. And now we have more this. We have more legs. The legs, we want to bring the bar up the first couple inches off the ground before our glutes and hamstrings really become the main mover.
Angle. Okay. Angle.
So, yep. Your hips
I'll aim
are
for that.
literally going to go from here to here. Arms stay straight. I want your hips to pivot around your shoulders. So they're up here. We're going to bring them here. You're going to bend the knee a little bit more. Your shins are going to advance to the bar. You're going to feel the bar contact your shins. That's okay. But also what that's doing is it will bring your shoulders back over the bar more, which will put you over the bar instead of out front of the bar. So now you see how your shoulders are over the bar versus when you start, they're past the bar. See how far past the bar? Look, you're definitely front foot heavy, so it's creating out front and it's harder. So we're going to bring your leverage back to you instead of the bar by dropping your butt, bringing your shoulders up higher, and using those quads and really pushing. I want you to break the bar off the floor by pushing the ground away with your legs, not standing up. I want you to push the ground away.
Okay. So, sometimes I feel like I have to get lower in order to really push the ground away. So I guess that
Yeah,
angle
that's what
will
I'm telling you to
help with
do.
that. Okay,
That's
gotcha. Yep,
just,
that makes sense.
yeah, we need to get you a little bit lower in the hips. So the shoulders stay high. We want the shoulders high. We want the hips to come down, bend the knee a little bit.
Okay, got it. Thank
Right?
you.
Yes, sir. Spotto press. Yep. Slightly longer pause, Jonathan. Don't shallow out on depth. Keep it that 1 to 2 inches off the chest. But you've got this is a spotto press. You're doing it correctly. I think you just need to let yourself get a little bit lower. You know, we're really only pausing that high off the chest. And maybe get your hands out slightly wider. And just pause a little bit longer. That's really it. But you're doing it. Of course it freezes right as he pulls. There we go. Yes. Really focus on keeping those knees turned out towards our pinky toe. And utilizing that leg drive. You see how when you start to pull, your butt kicks up a little bit and you're trying to get into your standard deadlift position? This is a deficit. We've got to fight for position a little bit harder to keep that deficit pull. So our legs are still using that leg drive. So elevating ourselves on a deficit deadlift is supposed to give us more quad load because we have to get down to the bar further, right? So it's supposed to help that load off the floor, that position off the floor, that strength off the floor, creating a bigger range of motion. So we have to get a little bit lower. Hips have to sit a little bit lower. We have to fight to maintain that position so our hips don't shoot up, which might mean lowering the weight. Marc, Shindu straight leg deadlift. Comes up, good. Fucking nailed it. Great mobility. Accelerating on the hinge. Glutes are squeezing big at the top, coming through. Marc, 10 out of 10 on these, man. Outstanding. And brilliant deadlift form out of the hole. So, all right, we're a little bit forward. Okay, so what I mean by that is this angle right here. That bar is over the toe. We're going to bring that bar closer. I want it over midfoot. So that means your whole body kind of has to shift back a little bit into the midfoot and heel. So let's see. As it comes up, the knees are going to kick back. Now watch. This bar is going to come back as well. That subtle arch back towards your hips. Let's watch how we come down. Let's see if we do it on the... We got a nice straight bar path down, and you're in a slightly better position. Gravity put you in alignment. So we need to get back a little bit further in our body. So we have a steep angle between our ankle and shin here. So basically, I need you to push back ever so slightly and bring that bar closer so that what'll actually happen is you'll get a little bit of length out of that coming back, and the bar's going to be closer. And I'm willing to bet when you find that sweet spot, you'll feel a little bit more oomph out of the hole just because of leverage. Otherwise, your hinge pattern looks fucking awesome. This you hinge with amazing motor pattern. So those two, I'm gonna move it on over. I know that's new this week, but we're getting okay, improved hip position because I gave him this homework. Trap bar. Yep. See, it's center. We just need to recreate that with the bar in the deadlift. See how back into your midfoot and your heels you are? So the only difference is the bar will be here, but that's still going to be your deadlift position. How the fuck is he's holding it with his pointer finger and his thumb? No way. Or is that playing tricks on me? Or is he just finger? Or is he doing finger and okay. I was like, no way he is. That would have been the wildest mobility I've ever seen. Yeah, one finger's fine. I do it sometimes. It's hard to tell depth-wise, but these look really good. I will say some of this might be one of my least favorite angles for this. Because it's just the side and the front low, it takes away what information I can gather with the overall technique. Like I can't even see if you're coming forward. But from what I can see, everything looks really good. You might be a little bit high. When in doubt, guys, from the anything hinge, squat, deadlift, from 9 times out of 10, unless I request it, from the side is the best. I mean, bench press obviously not from the side because the plate like off the front at a 45, so I can see everything. But yeah. I'm seeing reps out of Jeanette. I'm loving this.
I've been
There's
trying
4.
to follow it the way it said, but I'm
Good.
not going as heavy though.
You're not supposed to. If it's more reps, it's less weight.
But but the other video that had 2 reps, that I was supposed to do heavy, but I didn't do as heavy on that one either.
Sometimes that is okay as well. Sometimes we're tired, it's moving slower, so we have
Well,
to.
the end of the month I get more tired, so
That's okay. That's called an adjustment. But as long as you are hitting I want you hitting the reps it tells you to hit. So if it
yeah,
says
I'm doing the
4,
same program, but the advanced was just too much, so I'm doing intermediate again.
that's fine. I don't care what. I think intermediate or even beginner is good for you because we're now in a learning phase for you where we're getting familiar with sets and reps. And
Yeah, so I'm doing the same program, maximum your strength, but I'm doing the intermediate, and that's really all I do is the intermediate, so that's all I know really.
that's fine. But I love that you're doing more reps, and I can't emphasize this enough. For you, I want you to focus on every single workout, doing every single rep. It says, I don't care that you have to go lighter. If you have to go lighter, go lighter. That's the trick. That's the give and take with this. If it says
Some
a
of the
lot of
workouts
reps,
I don't know how to do, like I don't know how to do rack pulls. I've never done those before.
that's okay. Then maybe maximize your strength isn't the best option if it has movements that are out of your skill set. So that's how we dictate our level. So Rack pull is just, if you watch these, you'll see people doing the rack pulls in here, and that's where the deadlift bar is higher. So we pull from about our knee height. So rack pull, when you do them, it's from here up, somewhere in that plane, somewhere in that top half of the deadlift versus a full-blown conventional deadlift that you're doing here. So if it has movements that you don't know what they are, and there should be a video.
Well, Jen also said that I can do the swap button.
Yes.
Like if I don't know what something is.
You absolutely can. Do you do that?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, that's totally fine. Is the main thing for you that we're focused on is doing the correct number of sets and reps. So if it says 3x3, you're doing 3 sets of 3 reps. If it says 2x10, you're doing 2 sets.
I just never knew what that meant before, and that's why I never followed it before, really.
And you know what it means now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm
When
excited.
they said 3x3, I just didn't know what that meant, so that's why I just put in the number I did. But
Yeah, so that's the program, following the reps and the sets.
all right.
Carlos, front squat, fingers under bar. Yes, great depth. Getting a little bit more shallow as we get into the keep pushing for that depth, even though it's supposed to get harder. Overall, much better. I'm liking this. This is great. Nicola Zavada, looks like we're doing front squat. Driving those knees out. Don't let them collapse. Drive those knees out over the pinky toe. The rack position, whether you use the strap method around the bar, either way, I want those elbows high. I want dictation into the bar, not overlapping, fingers underneath the bar or straps. I'd like to see these from the side to get a little bit more information. These look good from here. I don't want to see you rowing that bar at all. See how those elbows bend? Straight arms the whole time. Let me see those from the side. Again, same thing. They look pretty good, but I'd like to see the hinge pattern in a whole. Jeff W. deadlift. Okay, hold on. I have scoliosis and my spine is fused from T3 to L3. Okay. On heavier deadlifts, my right side starts to come up first. Not really on this set though. Can I fix this? Let's see what we're working with. I mean, your movement pattern looks good. This is where I'd like to. I wish you were in here. Are you in here? No? Okay. This is where I wish you were in here so I could kind of probe with some questions. With scoliosis, it is nowhere near a death sentence as far as movement patterns go. It's not even close. It can create some imbalances. That's really about, I mean, it's varying degrees of it, but if your right side's, I'd like to know a little bit more about it with you in particular. There's always the option of finding a sports PT and getting an assessment, seeing what those imbalances are, because they can obviously go much further in depth having hands-on access to you, something that is very specific like this. But this set looks fucking awesome. So I'm not that concerned with the spinal fusion, as long as you are in tune with where those limits are pain-wise, so we don't have any issues. Luckily, it's on the higher end of the lumbar and the thoracic, which we want to keep in line anyway. Roger Harris, goal 700 plus.
Yeah, I was doing the complete lift Sunday, like all 3 power lifts. And the only one you need to show is if you can figure it out, because I'm not great at sending these in. But the 230 personal best squat. So the rest of it was really working hard. It was 95 degrees and I was dying. So that was my 315 bench press there. That was my bench that was my bench press. So I think this one's the squat here. And it was a personal best.
Get it to load.
No, that's my bench. This one was ugly. You don't.
I'll take a look at it since you were testing.
Yeah.
I'll take a second here.
And it's not a personal best, and it's embarrassing because I've done this 3 times in a like 3 reps, and I couldn't hardly do 1 here.
External factors. The weather and the heat is definitely one. Squeak by on that one.
Yeah. It was like,
So this might be the squat.
I'll do a better time. Yeah, this is the squat.
There we go. The computer's taking its sweet old time. All right.
I'm really working on my depth.
Okay. So a lot of fold. So the fold is what inhibits your depth. So you were getting there. I don't doubt for 1 second the legs are strong enough for 230. Not one bit. I mean, you're another 2-3 inches, and you have no questions asked. You're deep enough. So what we're going to pay attention to is when you get down to that point, see how look at that. You're close, man. You're right there. But when those hips stop moving, you try to get deeper and look at the fold that's happening, which feels like we're getting deeper, but we're not. What's happening is we're actually getting out of position. So, and it's the most common thing that happens in squats when it comes to depth. Because yes, our sight line is definitely getting lower, but our hips stop their path. So you hit depth with hips here, but you travel another 3 inches, and then look, now you've got to kick forward. Do you see that right there? Look, now you've got to kick forward because the bar is now further out front than it was when you started. You've got to kick forward with the hips so the hips come up, and then it allows you to start your ascent back up to the top. So when it comes to this, we need to, it's going to come down to here. The brace and the upper back are stabilizing this lift. and are active drivers on the way up. So as you sit down and we break that knee to hip line, that bar should not come forward. If we're coming forward, we're losing leverage. So our leverage point on squat is keeping that bar over midfoot. So when you got down at your, let's see, you're down at midfoot there. You're still in line. Great, great, great. And then here, it's the angle, but you drifted forward almost over to that Velcro strap. So to get back in position, your hips have to kick up to kind of suck the bar back. And now it's back in a position where you can come up. So when you descend, what I want you to focus on is I think we should create some sort of barrier, box, whatever, a physical barrier for you to have a target to force you to sit down. And we're going to add tempo. So 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, up. So you're not sitting down and unloading on it. You're just touching it. Just a little, boom, there it is. Now I need to drop. On top of that, squeezing that back tight. So it doesn't allow you to get here and folded. So when we brace, boom, we tighten up that back so we don't let it loose. So as you sit down and you really coil yourself down into your hips and your glutes to drive back up, you're going to actively drive into the bar the same time you push the ground away to stand up. So it's here and not here. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
So whatever you use for that box, I don't care if it's a stack of plates, I don't care if it's an actual box, I want that to be so this hip line right here breaks parallel with the top of your kneecap.
All right.
So the hip line comes just below it. Now that box actually looks like it might be close right here. That might be a valid option.
Yeah,
I don't care what it is as long as it doesn't spin or roll.
Right. Now that one's probably a little too much of a depth. I've got a box. I've got a box. I can get down to 16 inches on a box that I have, which is about right.
Because this isn't a strength issue. This is just a movement pattern. Like I think we spend a few weeks with this tempo and getting you ingrained with the proper path. You're gonna smoke 230, like no question.
Well, I feel I can. I just haven't been able to.
I agree. I think you can too, and it's a matter of position. So we'll get you there, man. No worries. Well done.
Thanks.
Richard Danielson looks back squat, looks like.
I had some PRs last week, although I feel like I could have went more with the back squat, but
boom. Nailed that. That was a PR?
yeah, that was a PR. It was only 195. Like I said, I felt like I could have did more.
Dude, that looked like speed work. And you just like bip. Yeah, man,
I've been just trying to work the form more or less than the weights. And then when I get
good.
down, I want to go up.
I love that. But realistically, you're probably in the low 200s with just by gauging speed. There's more in the tank. I think you could have gone a little heavier and still had more in the tank. It was just it just went so fast for a PR. You played a little too conservative, but the squat looked good. It looked great.
Yeah, that's what I've been really trying to focus on is the form because I don't want to hurt myself. So I'd rather do weight and then go up from there.
I think you still had another 10, 20 pounds and still had margin for error in that with some of the tank.
Okay.
Well done.
Thank you.
Bench press.
Yeah, this one's a PR too. It was 210.
Okay.
Or actually, my bad. That one's 205. I didn't record the 210, but I did one right after this, 210.
One very good form. Again, you weren't reaching. You got into your upper back with that support system and braced. You nailed that. And again, you were on the conservative side here, man. This flew.
Yeah, this is my time attempting any PRs at all, especially through this app. So I was being conservative, but I'm more or less trying to set a baseline so I know where to increase and how to get there, you know?
So far, you can increase everything.
Okay. Deadlift though, my heels came up at the end when I came up at the end of it. But this is I haven't tried more than that yet.
You jerked.
Okay.
You jerked right here. Hip, and it pulled you out of your position. Which you got out of the habit of doing. But I think you're like PR and need all the power, right?
Yeah.
Like
right.
You hit a little bit harder and did that little bit of a jerk. Whereas if you'd have pulled intention and were patient, it would have just built.
Okay. Cool. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Chad Powell, it's like back squat. Great depth. Good mechanics. Bar stay, we get a little bit foldy at the bottom, but it's nothing catastrophic. Yeah, I mean, this is doing what we needed to do. I'm curious if you went ever so slightly wider in the foot width. I mean, just a little bit. I think that might maintain your hip angle a little bit better. Driving into the bar, I'm being picky here. Maybe if we went a hair wider, that might suit you a little bit better. If not, we can always bring it back. All right, Jeanette, so this is the 225.
Yeah, that's the other one.
These are good.
They had me do it 3 times, but I only did 2 that day because the last 2 I was having a hard time doing.
Did you do 3 reps in the sets prior to that?
No, it said, I think it said to do it 3 times.
So how many sets?
It said 3 sets. I did 2, so there were 2. Sorry, I'm a little confused.
So you have reps. That's how many times you lift the bar.
So I lifted 2 times, and then I did another 2 times, and then it said to do it 3 of them, I think.
So,
but I only did it twice. I did 4 altogether.
Was it a 3x3?
Let me. Sorry, I'm a little confused.
It's okay.
I don't know how to go. Wait, I'll go back. I don't remember what day it was. I think it's Saturday. I'll go look here. I don't know how to look because I've already completed the workout, so I don't know how to.
So it's okay. So just listen up real quick. When you see the 3x3 or 2x3 or whatever that sequence is, that first number is your set. Then you have the X. The second number is how many times you lift the bar. That's reps. So if let's just say this was a 3x3. That means you lift the bar 3 times, 3 times.
I
So
think it
you would
was
do,
2. I think it was because it was a heavy lifting day,
that
so
was
it should have
2x3.
been 2, I think.
So 2x3.
I don't know, I'd have to look, but it was not the lighter day, it was a heavy lifting day, so
Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying though? Is it making sense?
I'm a little confused, but I
Okay.
think
So when you said 3x3, you didn't know what that meant? So that first number is called a set.
okay.
X is by, like a measurement. Like if you were to measure a table, it'd be like 24 by 35. X, and then the second number is reps. Reps are how many times you lift the bar individually. The set is how many times you do the reps. So if it is a 3x3, you would lift the bar 3 times, you would rest. Then you lift it 3 more times, then you rest. Then
If
you
I
lift the bar
remember,
3 more times,
I
then
think
you're
it
done.
was three times, but not, I think the bar was only 2, if I remember right.
That's okay. That's I'm not concerned with what it was this day at this point. I'm trying to make sure you're understanding what it's asking of you. So when I want you to be, basically my goal for you is when you look at your program, you know how many of each thing you're doing. Because you're putting in the work, you're doing a great job, and it's my job as your coach to help you understand. And I am the wrong person to quit. So I will hit you over the head with a frying pan if I need to. But my job here is to help you help yourself. So I will go over this 8,000 times with you if that's what it takes. Because that's my job. That's what I signed up to do. So I will say this as many ways as I need to say it till Jeanette goes, I get it. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. So until you go, yes, I understand, and you can look at that program confidently, I'm going to keep coming back at you every single time you show up. You do what a lot of people don't. You show up every week. You're here, you listen, you stay as long as you can, as much as you can. So the last
Yeah, how
thing
about
you do,
44-week streak, so
the last thing I'm going to do is get frustrated just because you don't understand. That's okay.
Oh, I just learned, so it just takes me longer.
I learned slow too. I had to take remedial math classes, which
Oh,
is
I have a learning disability, okay?
that's okay. I know that, which is why I'm even extra patient with you. But because you have a learning disability doesn't mean I'm going to quit.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know you're not, which is why I'm spending extra time with you, Jeanette.
Even if I said that last week, it's not like I meant it.
It's okay. I'll know when you
I just get
understand.
overwhelmed really easy, so that's all.
But we made progress because your first video, you did more reps than you've done in weeks.
Yeah, well, that's
So you-
my I'm only on like my 5th like repeating my programs, but I'm only on my 5th workout, so
That's okay. What Jeanette, all I'm saying is it's okay.
yes, I won't be able to get as many days this weekend because I have a race on Saturday and I don't want to kill myself.
No, you don't want to lift and then go run a race. No, absolutely not. But all I'm saying is I'm here to keep working with you to help you understand.
Jen too.
All of us are here to help you. No one
I
here.
mean, I've only known her over 3 years, so
None of us, guess what? None of us mind that you have a learning disability.
Yeah, I came from Jen's app, and if it wasn't for her inviting people from her app into here, I wouldn't be here right now. So gotta give a little bit of credit to her.
She's fantastic in that way. She is
Yeah.
one of the best in the world at getting people in the door.
I was on a retreat with people from her community, and then she was talking about the pump app, and then that's how I'm here. And I've never stuck to a program before. I've always started something and then I'd get bored and then I'd quit and so I'm on my repeating maximum restraint, but that altogether it's 4 programs altogether.
And that's okay. You know what? I'll get you to stick to a program even if it kills me.
Yeah, and I'm hoping next year to go to Arnold. Even I'm trying to save for it so I can go.
You know what? I think
That
that'd
would be
great
my very
because
first meetup too, because I've never been to a meetup in this app before.
I think it'll be great when I have you and I are in the same place and we can sit down. I can get a whiteboard and I can draw all the things and help you understand all the things in all the different ways. So we don't have
Yeah,
to do this
it
over the
won't be
screen.
this year because I don't have the finances for this year, but it'll be. I should be able to do it next year though.
Well, we're glad you're here. We appreciate you trying every week, and we'll
Sorry, I
we'll
wasn't
get there
trying to be
one way or
emotional.
another.
It's just I haven't eaten today, and so I'm just starting to get a little bit. Oh,
It's okay. It's okay, Jeanette. You're doing great.
all right, thanks.
Omer, dumbbell row. These are good. So this is like a chest supported prone dumbbell row. Can't really get any body English. I mean, he's got a little bit of oomph going there, but that's okay. These are fine. They're supposed to be heavy without taxing the back. I like these. Well done. The clean and press, the dumbbell clean and press, seated. God, my computer, it's either my Wi-Fi or my computer. I don't ever know which. Oop. Yep. Little, okay. Okay, internet. All right. All right. So, Omer, to avoid having such a big arc, what I want you to do is kind of flick them up. Yes, the little bit of swing helps. But I don't want it. This is harder than this. So the trick here is Andres has been working on this exact thing. The trick is to create as straight a line as possible. Now, because of our arms, we can't teleport the dumbbells in a perfectly straight line. So we want to reduce the arc as much as possible through explosiveness. So we get that little bit of lean forward and that little bit of swing. And as they start coming forward, we come up with a shrug and a pull. So they flick and we catch. There's a spider on my leg. Okay. A little flick and a catch. And we flick them up and drive we want our elbows and our fists to swap places. So instead of here, it's bit and catch. Your press looks great. No issues there. The goal is simply efficiency on the clean. That's it. Rebecca told me I could skip these, I think. Lillian had his 2. But inverted row, pump club in the Alps. I do kind of want to see it because that's pretty sick. I mean, does it get better scenery than that for a workout? That's pretty cool. Hell yeah. Just finds the most beautiful place on earth to casually get a workout in. No big deal. Elizabeth Winkler, front squats. Brilliant. Elizabeth, you have a great squat pattern. Absolutely love it. And with dumbbell front squats, there's kind of some dealer's choice on how you hold them. This works. This is fine. Well done. I don't want to change anything with your squat pattern. Yep, that's the one she told me she should skip. That was the mix up. I wanted her heels elevated on the squat, not the deadlift. Frederick Van Wyn. What's the variation? Because you're kind of in between two right here. It's kind of I'm going to guess a rear delt fly rather than a lateral raise. So that's how I'm going to coach this because that's what my gut's telling me. So rear delt flies. We don't want to come up and open. We want to get more over and raise. So you can either do pronated or semi. So if we're doing pronated, we're attacking that rear delt. And that raise hits that much more in a individual, nothing's truly isolated, much more in an isolated manner than here, because now we're getting our lats, our traps, and a lot of the bigger muscles involved to open up here. So the trick is not dropping the elbow. So we're staying, the elbow angle has varying degrees of good. You can be here and raise, you can be straight and raise, doesn't matter. But it's the angle and the elbow placement are really what are going to differentiate it. I find that when learning this movement, palm down here, you're going to get much more response and it's easier to keep that elbow in line versus when you turn your fist, you're much more likely to drop that elbow. So if we go here and raise, you're much more likely to stay in that rear delt fly plane. But on the off chance that you were doing lateral raises, you need to come up, not back. So this is where what Ketch talked about, labeling it, what movement you're attending to is a perfect example. He's kind of in between two here, and it helps me fix what I need to fix without trying to coach the wrong movement intended. All right. With that being said, 97 done. Minus the odd ends ones we skipped. So the floor is now yours for any questions. Neta, go ahead.
Okay, you brought something to mind. My program says to do bicep curls, but with the way that the length of the bars on my dumbbells, I'm like, my arms are out farther, so I've been doing hammer curls instead.
Still a bicep curl.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, if how much difference that's going to make.
It just targets.
Because it's just a different head of the muscle,
Yeah,
doesn't
it
it?
targets that outside a little bit more than the supinated. But you can also do one where you rotate as you come up and squeeze.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can come down. You can come down neutral, right? And then as you come up and clear, you rotate.
Okay.
Palms up. And as you return back, you come down here.
Okay.
It's actually my favorite variation. It's called a Zotman curl. It's also very grip intensive. you start palms down, and as you curl, you rotate up, and as you come down, you turn your palms back down, and it just smokes your forearms too. But that's
I like that idea. I
like it.
You're talking about old people. You know how much problem old people have with jars, right? I don't have that problem anymore. It's wonderful. So yeah, the grip thing. But here's a problem I've been having. I do archery,
Mhm.
and I've noticed that as I've gotten more into doing this, and I keep adding weight, my archery's gone down the tubes. Even whenever I work out on Friday and then go shoot on Sunday, my accuracy is just horrible. I can't hold the bow, out as steady for as long. I end up doing fewer, well, in our vernacular here, sets. We call it ends.
Yep.
Got any ideas for how I can make the recovery better? Because I don't want to give up what I'm doing here, obviously. Well, it's not
What
a
if you
spider,
front
but it's
load?
close.
What if you front load your archery on your training week?
How would I do that? I don't know that I understand.
So you're doing your archery at the end of your training week, correct?
I'm doing it on Sunday. My training is usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So what typical workouts are right before you do your archery? Is it upper body, lower body, intensive? What?
Well, the program
that's
I'm
a
doing
that's
tends
a
to have a little bit of everything, but it's tending toward the upper body a lot of the time toward the end of the week.
so that's where the nuance is, right? Like, you have to like I experience it when I shoot. Like if I do like a day at the range and I had like a super gnarly whatever deadlift, squat, overhead, a really high effort day, central nervous system fatigue, I typically have about 300 consecutive rounds of steady drills before like I see a downswing and just like I'm missing reloads. I'm making dumb mistakes. I'm pulling shots that I normally wouldn't pull, just because central nervous fatigue is higher. Um, or something's tired. Like if I have a gnarly press day and I'm holding the gun out here, I'm like, fuck. Like it weighs a few pounds. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
But you're doing this over and over. I'm doing a
Yeah.
raise every time I draw. Fast, violent, explosive, precise. So inserting that archery training day strategically in between the days affect it the least is my number one recommendation.
Okay.
My second is I have no idea what you're doing for recovery.
Well, that's the other thing, is I don't know what to do for recovery, to be honest.
Sleep, food, all that stuff are all factors in recovery and the biggest.
Well, I try to make sure that I have plenty of protein. Because I've discovered that if I don't have the amount of protein that's recommended, I pay for it the next day and more soreness and whatever.
Yep.
So I do that. I try to make sure of that. Sleep is kind of a variable sometimes. Depends on what else is going on and how hot it is and how the allergies are and.
So what days a week are you training? Are you training like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday? Are you training Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday? How's that? What's the breakdown?
Well, right now I'm doing pump club Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I've dropped back to just doing archery on Sunday.
Okay.
Instead of, because I used to, sometimes there's been times I used to go like every day, which I'd love to do, and I can do that in the front yard when it's not real hot because I've got a target in the front yard, and I could shoot a couple of ends. But lately it's been really bad, even just going on Sunday. And in fact, I even for the first time in years lost arrows and messed up arrows.
So what if you did this? What if you did? Let me think about this for a sec. I don't know what your schedule is like and allows, but what if you did let's say archery Monday, just for example, just entertain me here. Archery Monday, lifted Tuesday, rest Wednesday, lifted Thursday, rest Friday, lift Saturday. Then you had another whole day off, and then it is more so front loaded. I mean, everything kind of slides to the right. The other thing you could do is have your day one training, archery on Tuesday, because archery isn't going to tax your lifting system, but your lifting will tax your archery. If you did lift Monday, archery Tuesday, lift Wednesday, rest Thursday, train Friday. And then you have 2 rest days on top of each other going into workout 1, day 1 of the week, and then archery. So like what I'm trying to do is make an example of different places you can plug your rest and archery that might be more conducive to your archery.
Okay. So just play with it and see what I can figure out. All right.
Unless I'm shooting a contest, I shoot on Thursdays because I have day 1 Monday, day 2 Tuesday, or depending on what I'm training for and the program, I either train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or I train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. It depends what my program's asking me. If I'm doing conjugate and my heavy work is front loaded, I'm resting in between day 1 and 2. If I'm doing a different program where my speed work is, it depends where in contest prep, typically Saturday, where I'm the most fatigued, we have big contest run of stuff because I'm going to be taxed and power on demand is a thing for me. So we do a Friday, Saturday training day. So either way, I do that. Thursday is the sweet spot for my recovery because I'm just starting to get into that late fatigue, but not quite. So I try to do my range days on Thursdays because that is my sweet spot in the week where I've got the most amount of leniency where it doesn't dip into my training, doesn't dip into my shooting as much as it could.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I hadn't thought of it in those terms that way, so thank you.
So you might try your archery sooner in your week and then finishing, that could do it. It could just depend on what day it comes after or whatnot.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it because I was thinking, that I needed to have those rest days as be just rest days but I understand exactly what you're saying now, and I just would have never thought of it in those terms. So, yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yep. Mindy, go ahead.
Hey, so couple questions about programming. I'm doing pumped for the first time, and I picked it just because I kind of thought it looked like it would help me put on muscle, which is kind of my goal right now, is just to pack on as much as I can. And then second question is just that it has a lot of drop sets, and I'm just kind of wondering what are drop sets good for? Why am I doing this to myself every day? I just like to know why.
Volume. You get a shitload of volume real quick.
Okay.
You want to pump, get volume, get it fast.
And the volume puts on muscle?
Were you here at the beginning of the Zoom call?
Yes.
Remember when I explained effort and time under tension?
Yes. Okay.
What is volume? Where does that fall?
Volume. Gotcha. So drop sets are brutal but effective.
Well, listen. What does volume fall under between effort and time under tension?
Time.
Time under tension. So you're getting a lot of time under tension in a short period of time. So it might take 2 minutes to do a drop set, but you're working and having time under tension for probably 90 seconds of that minute. Or 2 minutes. So the effort comes into pushing into that realm of failure and having to drop. So it creates high effort and time under tension and just feeds you it. And it's another method to create effort and time under tension.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's drop sets are one of the best and fastest ways to get a pump.
Okay. Well, I think it's the first time I've actually ever felt a pump. Like when I'm done with those, especially with the bicep curls, it just feels like tight in there. And I'm like,
Well, if you're not getting
is
a
that
pump
a
when you're
pump?
doing like your rows and assistance movement, you're not trying hard enough.
Well, I think I've just had like too much fat, frankly, for most of the time I've been training, and like,
That's not how that works. You
no.
get pump no matter how much fat you have.
Well, I just can't see it. Like, I know I feel like,
A pump doesn't necessarily mean visible.
yeah, okay.
A pump is when you've got a shitload of blood pumping into that muscular system because you're demanding this constant contraction, so it pumps up what is being contracted, fills it with blood, and then it starts getting restrictive because it's like, I can't move. That swelling feeling is why we call it a pump.
Okay. I guess I feel that with everything. I just didn't know that's what it was. So I guess
Yeah,
my
that's
question
pump.
is actually, how do I know I have a pump?
Yeah, like have you ever done like a shitload of Bulgarian split squats and it feels like your quads are twice as heavy?
Yes.
That's a pump.
Okay. I didn't know that. I learned something every day here.
There you go.
Thanks, Nick.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? No, going once, going twice. All right. Well, if nobody's got any more questions, we will wrap it up, and I will see you guys next week.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you,
Thank
Nick.
you, guys. Have
We
a good rest of your
appreciate your
week.
time.
For the
Bye,
Americans,
everyone.
happy 4th.
Yeah. Have a good holiday.
See you
Thanks.
guys.
Have a good one.
Before.